Go. Woo-wee. All right, all right, all right. Let's see here. We can get the chat overlay here. That way we can see. And
Hi,
Miss
Jennifer.
Jennifer, old Skittles and Glitter, I guess is the first one here. So, hey, Jennifer, you right about that, but make sure you give me a thumbs up, then go over to Chris. Yay, man. So, but anyway, yeah, we did you I done the I said, boy, I sit there and I went to giving the doing my video for my mail call Monday. And
Right.
I felt bad because I was like, wait a minute. Hey Teresa, Jessica is doing good. She goes, I was telling Chris a while ago, she goes in the morning back to the doctor for some more results. So we'll find out once we find out for sure what some of that is. I said we can Mike can share some of it on out. But I mean she's fine. She's just tired right now. So hey Peter.
Hi, Peter.
But yeah, you have the Paul Case cup. Must be nice. I ain't got my Paul Case cup. It's in just it's in the dishwasher. I was just drinking drinking out of it yesterday. What is that about a thumb? Yeah, yeah, yeah. What I said, Dale, was give me a thumbs up on my side, and everybody jump over and go watch from Chris's. Um,
Hi, Dale. It's so
hey,
good to see you.
Scotty, how you,
Tina,
Scotty? Let's see.
Beth.
Make sure I'm missing. There's Beth, Miss Tina, and Eric. I don't know. I'm sure it's just Tina. So yeah, Tina sent me the link the other night for their live, and it was Saturday, and it was at 5 o'clock. And I left work at
It's
about 6:20, 6:30, coming home. I didn't get home till about 7. Hey, there's Mama. You know, so Chris using his official Paul Case code. Jennifer says that's your official Paul Case cup that you have.
Here's our Louisiana Life Cup. Hi,
Oh man,
Eric
don't
and
miss
Tina.
nobody. So, but anyway, did you? Oh, there's Fisherman 506.
Hello, hello.
What's up?
Evelyn.
Let's see here. I'm getting on down. Troy Sutton. What's up, Mr. Troy? No, we're both here. Eric and Tina both are on. So Eric must not have to work tomorrow or something to be up this late still.
I had to dust off my our Louisiana Life hat because I haven't had a chance to officially wear it in a while.
Hey, hey, Reverend Joe.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, look at there.
Hi, Scotty.
What are you doing, Mr.
Thank you.
Paul?
I'm doing good. How are y'all?
I'm doing good. Miss Karma, Lewis Acre, how y'all?
Hello,
Miss
Chris.
Evelyn,
Hi, Paul.
Treasure
How's
Hunter Neil.
Angel?
All good. All good.
Oh,
She's
good.
pretending like she could be a good mother.
Oh,
Hi, Lori Carp. Oh, I'm
hey,
sure she
hello,
will.
Heather.
Uh-oh, he's got a new batch of pickles.
What you? Oh, Wickles. Does that say Wickles? Hang on. What that says? Wickle.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Ooh,
That's
baby.
supposed to be a spicy pickle or something.
They are.
They
They
are.
are. Let me see if I
Hey,
don't
Miss
know.
Laurie.
There's a red pepper in every jar, at least one. Oh yeah.
Hey, what's up, Belt Loop 29?
Hey,
Welcome.
Gary.
There's Daddy.
Hi, Heather. And hello, Neil, again.
Let's see. Making sure I ain't trying to miss nobody. I can't get caught up. I'm always behind trying to read. I go talking and I quit scrolling.
It's a real problem.
Yeah.
So,
Sean Blocker. What's up, Mr. Sean?
The struggle
Oh
is
no,
real.
Sean coming in here with a joke on us. Put it golly. He said,
There's
what did the duck
Lauren.
say when he bought a chapstick? Put it on my bill.
hello, Lori. Prepping. I was prepping for heaven.
Yeah, I was telling Chris a while ago. There, I'm at the bottom there. I said, "Boy, I have done." We went today. I said, "It don't sound like much." I think we put 4 or 5 2 7/8 drill stems down today. We shoved them in the ground, probably about 12 inches to 8 to 12 inches from all the way, and I took and drove them suckers with a post hole. With a post driver. My hand, I told my hands hurt so bad holding on to that post driver right now.
And then on top of that,
So, yeah, I took up the entire hot wire today and put it all back down, moved all the cat. I didn't film none of that. I told him I had to get some stuff done today. I didn't have time. So it's been a day. And then I got called in. I got to go to work tomorrow now.
My dad
If
used to set
you-
those posts up like that in the back of our old dump truck, and he'd stand up and drive them with a big old sledgehammer.
Paul froze up. You froze up on us, Mr. Paul, for some
Yeah,
reason.
no, my pictures froze, but I'm still here. It
No,
it
at
least
least
it looks about like the picture.
yeah. I know at least it's a pretty picture up there. You know, it didn't
Yeah,
catch
whatever.
you mid mouth open or something like that.
yes, I did, Lauren. I did.
Yeah, come on, Skittles and glitter. We're gonna get you hooked up. And then she wants all that pastel purple and all that stuff. It's always got to be bougie something.
Hello, Ed.
I'll be back.
He'll
Who'll
be back.
Oh,
He gone again.
He gone again?
He'll be back.
There he goes.
So see, my offer still stands, Trey.
What's that?
If you recall, months ago,
Uh-oh.
About the ranch hand.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Look, I told him, Chris, what I have been looking at, and I don't know if anybody in here has actually seen one, but me and Jessica's been looking at those foldable houses on Amazon. Have you seen those?
I've only seen the ones that the military have.
Yep.
You know, where it comes in a flat crate and then you just start.
Well, this one here comes in, looks like a shipping container when it comes in.
Yeah.
And you can get 2-bedroom, 3. Heck, they even make them in 2-story. But I don't need none of that. But I said I would like to see one, like physically see one first. But man, they look good. They've got the sinks, the showers, everything.
How are they? But as far can you let them know you're monetized and say, hey, I need a sponsor.
Yeah.
And get them to sponsor you so that you can have a demo on your place.
Hey, there we go. Now you talking. I don't think I'm big enough for that.
Hey, all they can say is no. You can't. It can't hurt to try.
That's right.
Because I don't know what the nearest dealer would be. Shreveport, Monroe, or
I don't know. Hey, Shawnee Groves, how are you?
Hi, Shawnee.
At home. Hello. I don't know. I mean, as far as I know, they're just on Amazon. and they'll have to ship it from wherever they're at. I've
Oh.
never seen any around here. I wish it was one I could go look at. Hey, Miss Lori. So yeah, but I haven't like physically seen one. That's what I like. I mean, the pictures look good, and I've watched videos on YouTube of them, and all that stuff. They look pretty, legit.
Yeah, but how durable are they?
Well, that's the thing. You kind of want, but I mean, they're supposed to be. There's people buying them, and making like Airbnbs and rentals out of them.
Well, I mean, I'm just thinking about because of
Um,
all where the folds are, as far as
well,
the steel.
what it does is you seal it off. They do stuff. They silicone it. All those spots for those creases, they silicone everything, and who is it? We got Mr. Paul back, and he is back.
Uh oh.
Oh, he went and got him a count. Yeah.
Man, he went all the way to Louisiana for that?
Well, no.
Belt says, I've never been approached by a sponsor. Would love to hear from Hagen Dazs.
Haagen-Dazs. Oh, that's an ice cream company.
Oh, hey, I'm up for that now. Look at you. Look at you.
It's pickles and ice cream.
Yeah. So, but what was you saying a while ago now, Mr. Paul, about you back up there getting the truck your daddy would and drive them like that all the way?
All right, it's my turn. I'll be right back.
I had to leave because my computer goes to give me grief. That's why it locked my picture up.
Yeah.
If I don't shut it down every once in a while and then turn it back on, it does stuff like that. The most common thing it wants to do is it wants to shut off my sound. And so I'll be watching something, and then all of a sudden there's no sound, and I go over there and the sound's turned up on it, but the thing's got tired of playing. And
no, you're saying something about your daddy would back a truck up there and to drive those posts in the ground.
Yeah, he would stand in the back of our old dump truck and beat them pieces of pipe down the ground with a sledgehammer. Sometimes we even sharpened the ends of them. Make them drive a little easier. You'd pilot a hole with a rock bar, spud bar, whatever you want to call it.
Pickles and ice cream. I didn't think about that, Neil. That is a combination there.
No, I'm not pregnant.
What it is, he had to use the ice cream to cool down the hot pickles he just eat. That's what it is.
That's right.
So, Mr.
Got a little
Paul,
burn going on. Mm-hmm.
Are you've got your 2025 pins to hand out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you got those. Well, I didn't go with pins, but it does have a pin on the back of it.
Paul Case Farms on YouTube. What are y'all doing? Look at
that's the new one. This is the one.
That's a fancy pin.
This is the one from last year. If I had a thumb, I could hold on to it. This is the only one I could find that I still have of last year's, but
I got you.
All right, Trey.
Yeah, look at snuck in on y'all.
Hi, Dale.
So, Trey, here's my latest.
What's
that
that?
I couldn't, so I can be keeping up with the Paul in this. So, making it home, Miss Lauren and Joel, but Miss Lauren. And if I can get it turned right, there's that. Yeah, get over here. And it's a button.
I like it. I like it.
So, big time.
So, yep. So they're I got those today. So that was the mail call today. Uh-oh.
Look out.
Look out.
He's looking around the corner of the chat.
How you doing, Brother Dale?
I'm finding a frog hair split 14 ways. How about you?
I'm saying,
well, I'm like a duck, smooth at the top and paddling like heck underwater.
Oh, yeah. And of course, there's Jennifer. She wants one in purple.
Dale's
If
showing off his thumb, or Paul's showing off his thumb. Nice. Nice.
So has
Oh,
anybody gone crappie fishing?
He caught a
Big
big
old
one.
crappie.
Big
big
one. Big one.
Yep. The kids went fishing today. I don't know. I think they caught I think my Mallory's boyfriend caught like 2 or 3, and I don't remember what anybody else done.
It's almost time for that kind of stuff up here. What the biggest sport in my little area is on fishing is the spoonbill swim upstream in the Neosho and the Spring River. And they spoonbill are a big beast, and they throw treble hooks out there and snag them.
Huh.
I don't know. Well, you got any idea what them spoonbill weigh that they catch off the spring or the Neosho?
Neosho, I've heard. I mean, I've heard everything clear up to over 100 pounds before.
Yeah, they're big. They're big.
I don't know. I'm going to tell you. That's all I heard one time was, you got to go spoonbilling. Man, it's the greatest thing ever. Go spoonbilling. And then so you go there and you tie this weight on your pole about the size of your fist. Weighs like 40 tons, I think. Pretty sure.
Wrecking
on
ball.
a pole that's like 70, 100 foot long, it seems like. And then you throw that and you cast it as far as you can, and then you reel as fast as you can, and you jerk it. And you jerk it hard. And then after about 30 minutes of that, you wouldn't be any more wore out or hurt anymore if you'd have tied your feet to the bumper of a 55 Chevy and took off down a gravel road. I'm going to tell you, that was more work, and I hurt so bad. And they're like, you wait till you hook one. Well, I'm still waiting. All I did was hook rocks and logs and everything else under the sun. And the only way you can break it is you wrap it around your hand until it's about going to cut your hand in two and take off walking, so that this 200-pound test line will break. It wasn't no fun to me. I'm like, I'd just soon go set and catch channel cat or be catching big old crappie.
Yeah, there's like 3 or 4 places that they do that. And Dakota, we're talking about snagging spoonbill. And one of them, the biggest one of them close to me is Riverview Park in Miami. And they got a place down there you can stand right on the shore, and there's hardly anything out in the water there except rocks. And
that's because they've already drug everything else out.
Well, you hope. But
I mean, at where we went was Chetopa.
Yeah.
Right below the dam at Chetopa. And then, you'll see somebody, they'll get up there real close to that dam thinking that they're going to get something big, Well, they hook something big. Usually it's about an 85-pound flathead. And if you hook into one of them, you're going to wish you wouldn't have, because you're going to fight. And then once you get it in there, you got to get rid of it as fast as you can, because you are now holding something that will get you a very big fine, because you cannot snag a flathead.
Well, that's something else that they've come up with here in the last few years. It's illegal, I believe, in the state of Oklahoma to possess spoonbill eggs. And so there is, they built a research center for the Department of Wildlife over here by Twin Bridges. And if you snag a spoonbill, you can take it there and they'll process it for you for free, I believe. But they'll take the eggs out of it for research if there's eggs in one. So
yeah, because there used to be people that would just do nothing but snag. You can't in the state of Kansas, Dakota. That's kind of like you can't noodle in the state of Kansas either.
Really? You can't noodle in Kansas?
No.
Really?
No, there's like one county, and it's a county that butts up against Oklahoma, and it's on that Neosho River. Actually, there's 2. There's one on the Neosho and one on the Arkansas or Kansas River
Yeah.
going into Oklahoma. You can that one county, but then you have to have like special permit and stuff like that. But no, if you get caught noodling in the state of Kansas, that's called, you could spend jail time.
I think that's Cherokee County still at Chitopia, isn't it?
Yes.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Look, we have talking about some jail time. I know this isn't about fishing, but we've got a friend of ours that he works at our local sale barn and stuff, and he is in a huge pickle right now. I don't know the whole gist of it, but I know he's got like I think 5 tickets. They got him for passing two weigh scales in a truck illegal. I mean, it's all kinds of stuff. Having no CDLs, felonies. It's like 2 of them are felonies, and he's from here, and he was going to a rodeo in Florida, and it happened. And he's used that truck. I think he said like 4 years or 5 years. Drove the same truck out past the same way stations, and nobody's ever messed with him. And they've got him, and it can be up to a year in jail.
I don't know. I mean, I believe I'd employ a lawyer if I was him.
Well, he is. I mean, he's been trying, and it's got something to do with wildlife and fisheries. Wildlife and fisheries is somehow, I think it's because of the horses, because they got him, being that he didn't have license for CDLs. Somehow they called the game wardens, and the game wardens got involved. Yeah, I mean, it's a big stink. So, I mean,
well, I'm telling you, I mean, yeah, I agree, Dakota, but like he might want to get a hold of his association.
He is. He is.
Like if he's in the PRCA or something like that, because they can't for that as long as he's got a negative
Coggins
test or whatever
Coggins,
from his vet, and he's got a health license or a health inspection.
Well,
they can't do that.
Every time I've ever been stopped, I think they could have given me tickets or held me up for a lot more stuff than what they did. But they looked at me and they said, "We ain't gonna put that dude in jail. We'd have to feed him."
Yeah, that's me.
And they're like, "Oh, we ain't keeping him very long. We don't want him getting hungry on us."
Oh, hey, look! They detained him. They arrested him. Took their phones from them. Wouldn't let them have their phones to call anybody. I mean, it was.
This sounds like racket to me.
Hey, and and they're trying to push it so quick. Like, normally you get your court date and stuff pushed back. It's months down the road. His court date's like I think next week, and this just happened like 2 weeks ago.
And what state did this happen in?
In Florida.
Oh,
this barn. There was some Barney somewhere that he wants to try to earn him a second bullet and prove himself on this deal.
Oh, wait a minute. Florida is closely related to California, isn't it? Oh. Sorry, I'm not.
It might be.
I have friends that live in California, but they're kind of transplants.
Transplants.
Yeah. Are they ready to leave?
Actually, they moved back there to pastor church 20 years ago, and I think they'd move home if it wasn't for needing to be there.
Yeah, you want to talk to somebody about California and them getting away from there. Just talk to Sid and Mike from 3 Mississippi. They'll tell you all about why they moved back to Mississippi and away from there.
Well, I can tell you this. I've only lived in Oklahoma, but I'm real happy with where I live. We only have problems, 7 days a week. And I sleep like 7 or 8 hours a night. So I guess that makes it like 15, 16, 17 hours a day. We only have problems. So,
yeah.
And you get all that expert training, like how to break ice.
Yeah. I'll tell you some of the expert training that has bugged me the worst that I've been subjected to is from the Oklahoma Department of Agriculture several years ago. They got pushed into a deal where they became the warden, if you will, of making sure that chicken farms were doing their due diligence and not spreading too much chicken litter in one spot.
Yeah.
And you're going to think I've lost my mind when I tell you this, but they made us soil test anything that had a different fence around it before we could put any chicken litter there. Now, your free range chickens can walk anywhere and crap wherever they want.
Yeah.
Yep.
But apparently there's something different. But anyway, the first license that they gave us for that, we had to buy a license. And in order to get the license, you had to have 12 hours of continuing education. They run out of stuff to teach us. The last class I remember going to that I could get points toward my continuing education, which had to have more hours every year, was how to control brush in your pastures with goats. Yes, sir. I suffered right on through all that and come home and was happy to have my little sheet so I could get my license. But the first one of those licenses they sent me, I wish I still had it. It was the size of a credit card, and it said Oklahoma Department of Agriculture on top of it or something like that. And then it had raised letters on it, like an old credit card. And all I could think was, man, they're armed. The crap police come out here and catch us doing something wrong, and they're going to take our card from us, and they're going to get out that old machine and that carbon copy and go, and run us a copy of our ticket out here in the middle of nowhere. Well, a guy that was sheriff over here at the time, I asked him, I said, do you know what they're making us do? He said, no, what? I said, they're making us get licensed to be able to spread chicken crap. He said, are you serious? I pulled that card out and showed it to him. He said, I wish I'd never seen that. And I'm like, why, Shane? You know, I was like, this is all right. Ain't nobody else ever going to know about it. And he said, no, I'm having nightmares now that you think I'm going to follow you up and look and see if you're doing it right or not.
Oh, Lord.
And all that.
Well, I got a question for you, Paul. You're an old farmer, and Trey, you've been around farming, and this even fits in with Chris because you were in law enforcement. So if two farmers have a fence between them, or two landowners, it don't have to be farmers, two landowners have a fence.
Right.
How do you know which half is your half?
Well, here's what I don't know. I mean, there is no half, I guess. I don't know. That's just in the middle. But in here, because I'm having to put up some new fence now. If you don't want your neighbor to be able to use your fence, you need to back off the line about a foot, put your fence up, and they cannot use your fence. If you put the fence considered on the line,
it's community.
Community.
But
now, as far as if a fence is there, I don't know how you determine what's what. If it was some property you bought and a fence, I don't know.
Hey, Dakota, I don't think you ought to talk about stuff like that unless you got the experience with it, because I have found that you couldn't put enough on there to kill grass.
Yeah.
And the people that they were getting onto that was having runoff wasn't land applying it like they're supposed to, like a ton or 2 or even 3 to the acre. They were putting a whole clean out on top of a hill where there's only 30 acres open out of 4 buildings. And they were just putting on far too much for the ground to take in. It has nitrogen in it. Not nearly as much as what you can get in commercial fertilizer.
But you could get in urea or something like that.
I hate when they put that stuff out around here.
It takes time to take in, but that's all I want to say about that. But to your question, I've been told a few things that make sense about landowner fences. And I think it's Missouri law that they said you own the fence to the right, which means you and your neighbor meet up in the middle of the fence and face to face, and you own the fence to the right. But the way it's always worked around here, if we had fence against somebody who didn't have animals, they didn't do any maintenance on the fence. However,
Go ahead.
they did pass some laws here a few years back to where if you put up a new fence between you and your neighbor, and let's say the neighbor sells their ground, and then the guy that buys it goes and puts animals in there, but he didn't have nothing to do with the fence, and the fence was already there when he bought it. But you could go register how much money it cost you to buy the materials and build the fence at the courthouse on your land deed, and he would have to pay you half of that amount before he could use your fence.
So this all come up at the county commission meeting last week. A lady come in, she owns a piece of property. The property was fenced. They've owned it for a long time. The neighbor comes in, puts cows in, and the cows will not stay in his place at all. She doesn't have cows. Hers is hay ground, that gets hayed.
Yeah.
And also where they store lined hay, his cows have nothing to eat, so they're constantly pushing down the fence, breaking the fence, and getting on the hay ground.
Yeah.
So she goes to the county commission and asks for a fence viewing. Well, they just hired a brand new attorney at our county.
Oh boy.
And he said, as soon as she starts saying it, he said, "Why are you in the commission meeting?" She said, "Because that's what the commissioners do. They have to come out and view the fence, and they make a determination." And he said, "Lady, I don't know what you're talking about. That's a private matter. This has nothing to do with the county." And one of the commissioners said, "No, I'm pretty sure that there's state statute in the state of Kansas that the commission has to come and view the fence. And the state statute also says that when facing the fence, your fence is to the right, just like Paul said. And the way to remember it is that you want to be right with your neighbor. So no matter what way you're looking at, it's the right-hand side. The statute also says that it has to be a 5 barbed wire fence, a spacing, yada, yada, yada. But that's on the property line. See, in the state of Kansas, we don't build fences like a foot off the property line, because you know what that means?
It's all
That means you just gave a foot of your property to the other landowner.
I know. I wouldn't either, but I'm just saying. But that's what they say. If you want it to where your neighbor can't use your fence, you move it off. Look, I've got some neighbors right now. And it blew my mind that they done it. Like here, if you own land and your fence is there, that's the old fence that's been there all these years. It don't matter how much you own. That's just it.
Hey, I got a new one on you on that. Place next to me sold. The guy had it surveyed. They come in there and drove pins where they surveyed it. At the road, it's right, and at the back, it's 25 feet over on me. However, there's a pin right next to the corner post that's been there for 100 years. And I don't know how they're going to rectify that.
Here's the next thing. In the state of Kansas, and this is for several states, if no one protested that fence for 15 years,
it's there.
Your survey don't mean jack diddly squat.
Well, that's
why your title, why your deed says more or less 80 acres.
Yep, that's right. And that's what I said. They just come in, and of course what they just surveyed here was GPS.
Yeah.
I was just trying to I got another neighbor that was trying to build some fences and put some stuff on me, like way on me, And anyway, when they come in and surveyed, it showed I own 10 foot out in the neighbors. And I wasn't gonna worry about it because I mean I know how it is. And they said that they were willing. They said it's too much land to give up like that, and that they was willing to help put a new fence up on the line. I told them, I said, look, if y'all are nice enough to let me have that 10 foot, that length, I mean, I'll pay for the fence. I'll put the fence up. You ain't got to do nothing. I mean, as long as you in agreement with it and everything is good, because most people wouldn't do that.
But this whole coming in and surveying the ground out in the country living, that's like trying to bring all this city law out into the country.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the way it works.
Yep.
Like, and you get you an old school, rural lawyer, and he'll own them people in court because 120 years worth of precedents in a court.
Well, that's what the surveyor said. Said you won't find a judge nowhere that's going to rule to give somebody that much land with a fence that's been there forever. Because if they ever do it for one person, they're going to have to do it for everybody that comes through. And I don't know. Way back then, those discrepancies. Hey, Ace, the way the GPS works now with all the satellite stuff versus, they just went off of, I guess, markers and, so it's hard to overturn all that. And like I said, I wasn't even worried. I wasn't worried about it, but they said, no, that's just too much. So I'm like,
there's some of that stuff that really bothers me about this highly technical way of measuring. They'll go dig up the pins that they can find out in the road, but why didn't that guy hunt for a pin where that post was?
Yeah, no kidding.
And a neighbor of mine, his wife went to a doctor and she was having some symptoms. The doctor runs a whole slew of tests on her and says she's got cancer. He says, well, how bad is it? And he said, right now, I think we can beat it. The speck of cancer that we found is the size of the dot that a really sharp pencil would make if you touched it to a white sheet of paper. Makes me want to ask him, can we test again and you wipe the screen off this time?
Yeah. Tony, hi, brother.
Right?
What's up, Tony?
I mean, that's okay. So that's kind of what. So long story short, that all happened last week. Well, this week, the county clerk brought it up because I went to the commission meeting tonight because I was going to talk in public comment and say, you have precedents already that you have to do this, but the county clerk beat me to it. She said, I looked through all of our information and there are a stack of resolutions about 7 inches thick of fence viewing since the beginning of this county. So you have to go do that. And one of the commissioners that is from in town started arguing, well, we'll just get the lawyer involved. And the other two said, yeah, we will get our new attorney involved, but I can guarantee you he's wrong.
Yeah.
So that went to a closed door conversation. Now back to what you were saying.
Hey, can you wipe that screen off and try that one more time and see if it gets to where it shows you the line is where that post is? When you come across one of those places where 4 fences meet and the post is so old that the bottom of it is slick rotted off this high up off the ground, I'm going to tell you that's probably where the line is.
That's where the line's at.
Yep.
There's been some of us. There's been some of us out here in this part of the world that's been froggy enough to pull the post, dig it up, put another one in there the last 20 or 30 years.
Well, and I'm not trying to I don't know nothing. I don't claim to know nothing about Arkansas law. I'm sorry, it's Arkansas. It ain't Arkansas. Just because y'all can't pronounce Arkansas.
Oh, mercy.
But anyway, That's part of the problem that they're having over there with all that homestead blow up over there and all
Yeah.
these little parcels of ground that's straight up and down and arguing over, that's my ground, that's not my ground, stuff like that. They've sold it 4 or 5 times and stuff, and there's no fences and there's nothing like that. That's what they're running into. Like, you're trying to bring a cityfied thing into something that's not a cityfied thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's an
property
invasion.
property
It's an invasion.
was, yeah.
It's an invasion.
Property was not sold when you get out in the country. It's not sold like I got 100 acres and there's a creek that's along one side of it, and my property goes and I take 2 foot off of the other side of the creek. That creek now is the property line to that piece of ground, But
all I know is it's between 2 people, the 2 landowners. My cousin, who lives up in Kansas, has gone through what you were saying there, Dale, because a lady from Louisiana owns a house next to his and all that, and they built a deck. I think it's 6, 8, 10 feet, whatever it is, onto his property. And oh my Lord, whoo! I mean, you talk about lawyers and Jimmy. I mean, she's made false accusations and all that, and the judge just said, "No, ma'am, you just need to go."
Yeah. Well, see, that's where all this come from is, when I bought this place, my neighbors right here, not the neighbors that agreed to the 10 foot, but the other neighbors, got one little acre that's in here, a big, long, skinny acre. They come to me, "Why don't you let us buy some?" I said, "No, it's not for sale." But they were mowing a big, I don't know, say a half an acre in the back, and keeping it mowed. It was some chicken pens on it, another little shed on it. They had a spot where they could walk out there to my pond and stuff like that. Look, I'm not worried about it. Y'all just keep doing y'all, whatever. Don't build nothing else on it. Everything's good. And this is, oh my gosh, we've owned this now for 20 something years. Well, the lady's husband passed away, and then she got a new man, got remarried. Well, then they just decided they was fixing to build like a privacy fence or whatever, about 100 foot on me. And I just so happened to be here. I was in the bed actually sleeping. I was on nights, and Dad called me. Said, "Hey," he said, "what are they doing down there at, the neighbors?" I'm like, "I don't know. I'm in the bed sleeping." He said, "You might want to go look." So they done unloaded skid steers and trailer full of fencing and all kind of stuff. Well, I go back there and they don't went to punching the holes. I walked up there. I said, "Man, what are y'all doing?" "Oh, we putting these folks here a fence up." I said, "No, you're not." "Oh yeah." I said, you're putting that on me. We're not doing that. And we've all had the understanding. I own like literally less than 20 foot out their back door. And it's just the way they done it years ago, whatever. So that's why I've never pushed the issue. I'm like, "Hey, y'all use it. We don't want no problems." Anyway, she absolutely showed her tail after I told her that they couldn't put a fence up. And I'm like, "Well, I guess
you should explain it to them like this. You should explain it to them like this. You can't put that fence there because that's on my property.
Well, I did.
And I ain't paying for no fence.
I did. So that's what brought on the surveying deal where I even found the other, And then when I got it surveyed, I got chewed out, threatened to call the law on me, threatened to call the law on the surveyor and everything else. When I got back there, she done pulled the sticks and everything up. I'm like, "What are you don't be on my property?" And I'm like, "Now, Miss Neighbor, you're not." I'm not on your property right now. I mean, I'm standing here talking right here, right at your back door on my property.
This
You
is my
need to
property.
On
you
my
need to
property.
explain to
If
her.
anything, you're standing on my property.
Yeah, you could tell her something that my dad used to always say, but I can't repeat it here.
Yeah. Well, and look, then I ended up having to get the surveyor to come back out, and he wanted to call the law. He's like, "Hey, I'm bringing the law with me when I come because she pulled up everything, you know." So I couldn't find where it was at. So he come back out, and I told her, I said, "Look, and he ended up charged me. You know, it wasn't a lot, but he said, I'll send her the bill, but
Yep.
anyway, but you know what? After that deal, and I told her that she could go to jail for doing that. She went to changing her tune just a little bit, and I still haven't done anything with the situation, but there is still the wood post there with some flagging, which there's a rod in the ground, but the wood post with the flagging after the little talk there, it's still there. And that's been I guess that's been about 4 or 5 months ago now.
So
And
that's
you-
the city. There's a big city in our county that they have a watershed lake, that was built, or it's a secondary drinking water lake. Well, they started letting people develop around it. The city actually owned the ground all around it and everything. They started selling off little lots, on to build on and everything, but they would just sell them a lot by X. Well, it kind of was the Great West out there, the Western frontier. They just kind of let it take care
That's
of
what I
itself
told
for
her.
several years,
Yeah.
and that is right, Joe. It's supposed to be
Yep.
against the law to
No,
remove those.
it is. That's what I told her. I told her I could have her arrested, for doing that. But
Yep.
However, I didn't remove the stakes that they put up on my side of where the fence actually is supposed to go, but my bulls didn't like them little orange flags, and they rubbed it into the dirt. I don't. I know where they were at, but I ain't gonna put up with it very much longer. They put one out in the middle of my hayfield, but I talked to the guy. He says, "Well, I'm not really interested in losing any land." And I said, "You didn't own that before you bought it,
Yeah.
and when you bought it, you didn't know that was like that when you bought it."
Yep.
And then I said, "So, if we're gonna put a new fence up, are you gonna help me put up the fence?" He said, "Oh no, I'm not interested in a fence." I'm like, and the only thing you're going to gain is an old fence and some trees. And you just,
Well, and I will say that also is on statute is if someone, like kind of like what you were saying, if you build a fence to hold your cattle in and you paid for all the fence, the other landowner had nothing, no livestock, wasn't running anything against it, that's still all on you. But the minute you put a hoof on the other side, you now are responsible for 50% of what it costs to build that.
yeah. And I've got a lot of land that don't have no livestock on the other side of the fence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, see, that's if you watch, like, I put out a video of some crop ground that we farm that every year we're fighting these people cattle eating
Yeah.
all our crops.
Yeah.
And that's what got thrown at me during that whole fiasco of that video I put out was, well, you got to fix the fence then. And I said, first of all, we rent the ground. Second of all, we're not holding livestock yet. We don't have to build a fence to keep your cows out of our stuff. You have to build a fence to keep your cattle in.
Yep.
It's not our responsibility to build a fence.
Hey, and some of you, I may have said this before in here. I don't know. My papa, my daddy's, my mama's daddy, he had a Pentecostal preacher that moved in, and they had horses. Well, they kept leaving their gates open. Well, the
Hmm.
horses were getting out, getting in papaws, whether it be beans or corn. I don't remember what he had there at the time. My papa was a farmer. They would get in there and they would just walk it down, eating it, just tearing it up. And you get 4 or 5 horses doing that, they can make a mess in a hurry. Anyway, Papa talked to him, and the guy said, every time it wasn't just one time it happened. He'd say, "Man, them horses are smart. They just open that gate." Well, I think
Yeah.
about the second or third time that happened, my papa said, "Well, I tell you what you do. You tell them smart horses that the next time they open that gate and they get in my crop, I'm going to shoot them." He said, "I guess that fella was right. Them horses was pretty smart because they never opened that gate and got out
They
again."
never opened that gate again, did they?
I had some gates that I had that kind of trouble with, but I knew it wasn't my cattle that was opening them. And you know what? People will quit stinking messing with that. Not if it's got a lock on the chain, but if you just tie it with a piece of that gaucho barbed wire, they'll quit messing with your gate.
Yep.
I have even tied some at the hinge end of the gate that I was worried somebody'd walk off with my gate. They wouldn't bother that. Bolt cutters will cut it pretty easy. I don't know why they didn't take it anyway, but yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've got some 30-year-old fences on my place that I built that's still in pretty good shape.
Yeah, I don't know about that whole depreciate stuff. I mean,
actually, it might appreciate because I didn't pay $2 for any of the fence posts I put in, and they're like $5 now, aren't they?
yeah,
Man,
no
look,
kidding.
I shopped around. Because I got to have some T-posts because I'm starting some fence now. And I found the cheapest of the 3 places was Atwood's. I'm buying 6.5-foot T-posts. Atwood's has them for $5.10 a
510.
piece.
I
5.10 a
bet,
piece.
I
Tractor
bet you
Supply
can
has
look
them.
at them and bend them.
Oh yeah, and they're not. I bought some the other day. But the Tractor Supply is $5.20 a post, and our local feed store is $6.10 a post.
You might be a little bit surprised. Those 1.25 6-foot posts, I have drove a lot of them in the ground around here, and when the spade hits the ground, it breaks the spade off. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can definitely. I told, I said I didn't buy a whole lot because I didn't have nowhere to haul them. We went. Me and Jessica and y'all seen the short. We went and to Texas, and I bought another bred cow. And anyway, so I didn't have nowhere to put them. I was going to put them in the trailer, so I just bought. I think 10. I just bought 10, just threw in there. I said, "Well, I'm here. I might as well get some." And I threw them over to the side in the trailer. And but I said, "Man, I'm gonna go look at before I buy some more. I'm gonna go to Tractor, so I'm gonna go look at them because man, them poles look mighty thin." I think I told Daddy that yesterday. I said, "Man, them poles, them T posts look like they're thin."
They're coming
Oh,
from
I'm
China.
following what you're saying, Dakota. I don't. I mean, I guess I've never had to.
Me because
Never had anybody in that situation, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I assume after about 15 years, you get to where it don't hurt so bad when somebody just puts animals right on the other side of the
Yeah.
fence you built.
Well, but then what you run into, like we have literally, Dad's got a pasture and on some land he owns. Well, the neighbor there, the fence was horrible. He refused to do anything, and it was all growed up. So the people that owned it before us, they built another fence in there off the line. Well, then that basically the neighbors' cows come across them and tore that up. When Dad got it, if I remember correct, we built another. So there's like 8 foot between the neighbor's wire and the fence we built. And we planted 2 years ago. Dad planted that whole thing in ryegrass down there. Gonna let it grow and then turn his cows out on it at the end of the winter. the neighbor's cows broke in and eat all the ryegrass.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't even get to, we can't even put our cows in there because his cows keep tearing the fences down. And so it's just like, man, what do you do? You know?
Take them to the train station.
Well, I was going to say, in the state of Kansas, what you do is you catch them and put them in a corral, and they either pay you for the damages or you take them to the sale barn. You take the damages out of the check, and they get what's left over.
Oh, plus hauling.
Plus,
Yeah.
and you
Plus
can charge them.
I don't know what that would, you know, but you know, you run into the deal there still. It's then you got bad blood neighbors.
You know, there's a lot of that kind of stuff we're talking about. You can make your neighbors really exceptionally proud to be your neighbor, but you can't always make them a good neighbor by putting their cattle back in or fixing the fence or whatever.
I mean, it's like this, the neighbor, I mean, he just come and bought, I don't remember how many bales of hay, like 28 bales of hay from daddy, you know, because he didn't have enough hay. But
here, Duncan said hi, Trey.
Greg
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hello, Duncan. Duncan Family Farm.
Wanda Henry.
Yep. I seen
Julie
Cook.
I got a story for you, and then I gotta go.
Uh-oh.
I used to rent a lot of ground when I was in my 20s. I had 100 head of mama cows, and I only owned 100 acres. And so I had a lot of rented ground, but I had really, I don't know if that's a compliment, Angie, or if that's a put down, but I'm going to fix it later this week, I think. I had a lot of ground rented and we built a lot of fence, but back then you could buy a roll of gaucho for $17 and you could catch T-posts on sale at Tractor Supply for $1.25, $1.50, something like that. So we built a lot of fence on rented ground. And I had, when I would go to feeding cows in wintertime, I had like 6 or 7 places that I had cattle inside of a 5-mile circle from my house. And so there was times when I'd leave early in the morning to go do my chores and not get done till after dark in the winter. But anyway, I had this one place rented from a grandson of the guy my dad rented it from. And matter of fact, my grandpa did that guy's chores when he would go on vacation. And so we'd been neighbors kind of these folks for a long time. And they had 110 acres, and most of it was just trash, or just junk, whatever would grow. They'd try to keep it mowed. But the fences was all made with split oak posts. And so though, I don't know if anybody knows anything about those, but those about 5-6 years, they rot off and you have to redrive them. And woven wire with a barbed wire on the top of it. But there was a 35-acre prairie hay field on it, made all up in the hills. Some of the hills on that prairie hay field you could roll a tractor over on if you was doing stupid stuff. And so the hay field had been cleared by the guy that my grandpa was friends with that owned it. But anyway, I was paying that. I started off, I rented it for a year, and then made dealings with the guy to replace this fence or to build a corral or whatever on a 3-year agreement. And I was paying, well, not a lot of money, but I was paying $1,000 a year for that 110 acres. And I had a deal where I needed the hay off of that hay field. I was selling horse hay to a local feed store. And when I got that place, that hay field would make like 700 square bales a year. And so I started fertilizing it. And several years, we made over 2,000 square bales a year off of that hay field when I do a little maintenance to it. But anyway, in the 10th year, I baled the hay up there a second time for the third time in the amount of time that I'd had it. We had a really good year. I'd got the hay off of it in June instead of July, and it grew back. And it was in September, I still had time to grow back and have enough to keep it through the winter. And so we baled the hay the second time. And actually, that time it was really dry and we needed the hay ourselves. And I round baled it and gave it to my dad.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy tries to call me. And it was about the same time that summer we had a lightning strike at the house, and it blew up our phone line from the house to the road. And so we put a stop to that phone line and used the other one that we had been using for internet. So it changed my phone number. And now this guy's all, I can't get a hold of Paul. Well, I just live 2 miles from him. He never made an attempt to come see me. And this goes about a month after I baled the hay the second time. And he served me with papers suing me in small claims court for double rent for the year since I baled the hay off of it twice.
Oh, no.
I went and talked to him. I said, what in the world is wrong here? This is not a problem. The contract we had said I could do anything I wanted with it. And I haven't. I've kept it in good shape. Why are you being this way? He said, you know better than to bale the hay off of that 2 times in the same year. I'm like, it's the third time I've done it in 10 years. It ain't going to hurt it.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you've ruined it. He told me that. You've ruined my hayfield.
Really?
I'm like, well, I was the only one using it. I mean, and I had been, the guy went on vacation in the wintertime one time in that amount of time. I went up there and kept a fire going in his house so it wouldn't freeze up. His wife got sick with lymphoma and was in the VA hospital in Fayetteville. And I went up there and did their chores for them, took care of the few animals they had at their house. And just all kinds of stuff like that. I gave him a half a beef 2 or 3 times in that 10 years. And I'm like, I just don't know what the problem is. And he did. He wouldn't settle. He said, it's got to be, you owe me another $1,000 for double rent. And I'm like, I don't know where you think I'm gonna pull that out of. I gave the hay to my dad because he's short. Well, go ask him for the $1,000. That's what he said. It was all $1,000. Had to have $1,000. So I let him. I went to court, and he gave the judge his copy of our contract. And the judge looked at that contract and he said, wish I could rent 100 acres for $1,000. I said, you ain't seen the 100 acres, man.
Yep.
In years, I've built 1.5 miles of fence around it. And some of that we had to cut out the fence row with a chainsaw. And anybody that's been involved in any of that kind of work knows that's way more work than building fence. And I don't know. I was blown away by it. And got there, and I thought when the judge said that, I'm screwed, And he asked me. He said, "Did you pay him every year?" I said, "I more than paid him every year, and I've been friends with this guy. My family's been friends with his family for years, and we help each other out." His grandpa would come down to my shop and fix him up a trunk full of spare tires for his car when he went on vacation because he didn't want to have to pay to have a flat fixed while he's gone. And just all kinds of stuff like that. I never could figure out why he done this. And the judge says, well, I'm not going to award him the whole $1,000, but half of it. And when it come down to it, because the judgment's against me, then I have to pay the court costs. So it cost me $750 instead of $1,000. So I guess it made me $250 to go to court. Yep. The week after I got the papers, I went up there to see him and he wasn't around. And there was some other folks that was there that was friends of his that was doing his chores. And I'm like, where is he at? And they said, well, he's gone visiting some of his relatives in Kansas City or something. And I said, what is the deal with him wanting to take me to court? They said, you need to hear what else he's been threatening you with. Ever since you baled the hay on that up there twice, he's been threatening to turn the cows you've got here out on the road. I said, really?
That
Does
is
this guy have a
crazy.
death wish?
So before I left there, I had the land across the road from it too. And so before I left there, I just got him out in his driveway and led him across the road. And I built him a corral, but I put my own head gate on it and pulled the head gate up and went home. And I never went back. I don't know. And the only reasoning one of his friends could give me of why he would do that was they thought he was losing his mind. He had been in the service during Vietnam, and they thought he'd been exposed to Agent Orange. I don't know. Anytime you can stay out of court, you're better off, though.
Yeah.
Hi, Tim. Hi, Kevin. Hiking with Chucky Boy. Yeah,
Hey,
I'm
Tim.
telling you, we deal with that. We have a place that, like, my granddad rented it, my mom and dad rented it. You know, it was nothing but grown up brush, oil wells. You know, oil people, they don't take very good care of ground.
Yeah.
You know, they just leave drill stem and stuff everywhere and junk everywhere unless you're just on them. You know, not all oil operators are that way. Don't get me wrong. But this one particular that had this lease, just like you couldn't walk through there without tripping over pipe or you know, stem or you know, or whatever. And so my granddad, my family, like he worked for a couple years cleaning this place up and you know, got it back to where there are hay meadows and stuff like that. And you know, we had rented it and we didn't rent it for like nothing either. He paid like top dollar for it, you know, because we needed the ground, you know.
Yeah.
Well, one of the, of course, how it always is, the older fella passes away, so the kids inherit it. And the first thing that happens is the kids live in town and get their buddy who, ooh, I want to go kill big Kansas deer. So they start bringing them out deer hunting. Well, then the next thing is, well, how about I just pay you so I can come and deer hunt there and set up my stuff, and that way I can come and do whatever I want, you know, and set up my stands and stuff like that. And you know, at that point, that's when we said, you know, we rent this place and we have the rights to all of it, including the hunting. Oh no, that can't be. That can't be. Well, of course, we take them the contract and we say, yeah, that's how it is. Well, then the next thing you know is well, we just need to get that hunting right, you know, next year at the end of this contract. We want the hunting rights. You guys keep farming it and everything, you know, and keep haying it and stuff like that. We want it all cleaned up like that. Well, then the deer hunters come in and they want to start telling us when we can hay it, that we have to be out of there by a certain day with everything and stuff like that. And pretty soon the next thing we know is, well, you know, if you want to continue being here, you're either going to have to just buy us out. Ground at this time was bringing like $750 an acre. You're going to have to either just buy us out at $2,500 an acre or walk away from it. And we'll just take it back.
See ya.
And we said, well, you know, I believe we're not going to be able to pay that for that. But I think there's a small matter here. Well, what's that? Well, I'm pretty sure you owe us for clearing all that up and cleaning all that up and fixing all your fences and maintaining your drives and your driveways and stuff like that. Oh, then all of a sudden they were beside themselves. They didn't know what to do. So we had it for another year or two until they just decided that the best way to solve it is
What's up,
wait
Rocky?
until it rained And then they'd go out there and just tear up all the hay meadows. They'd invite all their buddies out, the mud all over it, cut it all up into ruts and everything, and lay down trees across the driveway. And finally, we just walked away from it.
Good night, Miss
there was
Wanda.
nothing you could do.
And that's how I was ready to do with this guy. I actually, before we left the courtroom, I wrote him a check. And I thought this will be the best way I can be done with it. I don't need that kind of stress and negativity in my life.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know how to pronounce that one's name. M Buglet. I'll just call him M. Had a question. What's Agent Orange? Agent Orange was a herbicide that the government used in Vietnam to defoliate the forest so that they could track the enemy.
Yep.
And they sprayed it on with helicopters and airplanes. And so it wasn't very uncommon for people who were serving in our military to get coated with that herbicide.
Yep.
And
That's Emily, by the way, Paul.
Emily. It's caused a lot of other problems for people.
There's another one that was used in wars like that, and now has become very common to use in the ag community, and it was used for chemical warfare, and that's called anhydrous ammonia.
Yep.
And Agent Orange, anhydrous.
You wouldn't dare use anhydrous like that today. It's too stupid expensive.
Uh-oh. Look who's in the chat.
Okay, Bug.
Oh, there's my little bougie friend.
Bougie white Mexican.
Hi, Emmy.
Hell.
Bougie white Mexican.
Hi, Emily.
Emily,
Hi, Amy. Sup,
didn't know you
Chris?
was a New Yorker, but welcome.
Yep.
That's
Go
right,
check
Angie.
out my channel. I got in too late to get to simulcast with everybody.
Me
but
too.
Me and Dale, go check out Dale's channel if you probably already know him. But
Hell, I'm sorry I was so late. I was so late getting it out to y'all.
ain't no problem at all.
Hey, it wasn't that, brother.
I told Chris. Chris jumped on before we went live. I told him, I said, I really and truthfully, I didn't know if I was even going to do it, because when I sent that out to y'all, I had literally just quit, come to the house, and I finished. Jessica had the stuff on the grill grilling, and I sit down right there while I was waiting on the meat to finish on the grill, and I made the thumbnail up and sent it out. And I told Chris we'd eat. I went and got a shower, and my hair was still wet when we started. I just sit down.
And his back was wet too.
Well, I almost made a Paul short today. I almost made a Paul short that said, "What's for supper?"
You
today.
should have been. Oh.
Because I come home and the beautiful lady at my house, the one that makes it pretty, she had made fried bacon with fried cabbage.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Like with
And where was the invite?
Ooh.
She just made enough for her and Dale.
That's right. But I'm gonna tell you about fried cabbage and bacon. You want to talk about chemical warfare? Right there it is.
Later. Yeah, later. Hey, let's put off this argument till later, honey, and neither one of us will feel like arguing about it.
That's right.
Well, we had steaks tonight. The first steak off of our freshest beef we've had butchered. And it was I was forced into butchering one. And I've not ever had this happen before. I've raised bunches of replacement heifers, done it for years. My dad done the same thing. I never remember us having this. And we don't have any horned cattle. If they have horns, we've got to the habit of not keeping them. And when we was doing it before, Dad we'd cut them off, but we've got to where we just only keep polled ones now. But I had one heifer that didn't come in one morning, and it was the first day it snowed back in January.
Well, looky.
Oh,
I went out.
Hey.
and
Hey.
she had
Hey,
dislocated her front right leg. She wouldn't put it
Oh,
on
I
the
remember
ground.
this.
Shoulder all messed up. And we called a mobile butcher that came out the next day and cut her up. And they had broken her ribs on that side. And
Really?
they actually trashed one whole quarter of that heifer because she was so beat up and it was full of blood. But the first steaks out of that deal tonight was ribeyes, and they were. I'm sorry.
Sprocket said he glad we eat good tonight because he had freaking tacos. we had grilled pork chops and all that tonight. So
well, I'm sitting here.
Taco Bell's not really tacos.
I'm sitting here cooking while you guys are talking
Oh.
here. I'm cooking burgers from our steers. So,
Oh,
that's,
so you'll
that's
see
that
me
good,
popping
that's that
it
good
in
meat.
and out here.
Well, don't let us mess you up.
Uh,
I can't
don't
smell
mess
them
with
from
these
here.
burgers.
So
well,
Are you frying or are you grilling? I
I'm
guess you're
frying.
grilling. Huh?
I'm frying tonight
Frying.
because you
there's
know
nothing better than a fried hamburger off fresh beef. That is probably one of my favorite things.
Absolutely. I'm gonna go flip them real quick.
I seen someone else put BLTs in there. That's what Lisa and I had yesterday for supper. We had BLTs, and oh my goodness gracious, I about found her on that stuff, man.
I've got a 2A meeting tomorrow night, so I'm gonna where we go is a local restaurant here in town. So I'm gonna be ordering my BLT there. So I'll try to videotape it for you, Paul.
all right. Hey, Johnny, what do you put on yours when you're frying them?
Usually garlic, salt, and a little bit of a seasoning that I've. It's kind of like a grilling seasoning and stuff like that. So,
Hey,
but I love garlic salt on all kinds of things. You know, if I had to eat pineapple, I'd somehow figure out the way to throw garlic. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'd have to throw garlic salt.
I don't think it'd make it any better either.
Well, these are our go-tos.
Uh-oh.
Garlic pow pow.
Yeah.
Dano's. If you haven't tried it, you ought to try it. It's pretty good.
Okay.
And the OG original.
Yep.
Yep, that's our go-tos. That's what we like on everything.
Look, when I'm frying a hamburger, I do pretty much salt and pepper.
Yep.
I love just fried hamburger, salt and pepper.
Yeah.
Johnny, I did get my shirt today.
You got it?
Yes, sir.
Nice.
On your Thursday live, I'll probably throw it on and test fit. I won't model it because I don't want to scare anybody off.
Hey, I got a question for you guys. Have you noticed in this picture there's one of us that's not like the others?
Yeah.
Looks like Trey would want to fix that.
What? Yeah. I'm working on the situation. I've got some more stuff ordered because I still have to do. I haven't forgot my giveaway. There's a giveaway coming. Things has just been hectic around here for the last about 2 months, I think.
But what he did get was some oatmeal cream cookies.
But I don't know if I can get a camouflage cowboy hat with my logo on it. I don't know if I can do that to send him.
Well, see, that's the thing. That's the only hat I wear. So.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't know if you can get Dano's in New York City, but you can get it at Walmart here.
What's your question, Emmy? Dano's.
Yeah. You can watch all of the Dano's stuff you want to on YouTube. He has a YouTube channel where he cooks stuff using Dano's. And there's a lot of variations of it, but we like the original one the best.
I've never had any of the Dano's.
Yeah,
I've never heard of it.
It's not really something you would use like salt and pepper after you've cooked something. It works better if you're using it in your cooking.
Oatmeal cream cookies. My cows love some oatmeal cream pies.
I bet Brownie did.
Yep. Well, look, they have not. I was actually going to do a video and give them some of the oatmeal cream pies today. We've been busy, but by the time I got through today driving drill stem in the ground, it had done got dark on me. I said I didn't get my poor chickens didn't get fed. Nothing this evening. The only thing that got fed was my cows, and it was dark when they got fed. Might as well say
I bet your arm feels like this, don't it?
my hand. I told them my hands wasn't
Hold on to that.
holding on. I told them I got to go to work in the morning, and I probably won't be able. I'll be so sore I won't be able to roll out of bed in the morning.
I don't know if it's just me or not, but I was having the hangover from daylight savings time still this morning. I didn't feel all that good. I got all my chores done and still didn't feel good, and told my help I ain't going to the woods today.
Uh-oh.
That's the good shit.
Mm.
You got that, and then if
I've
you
never
know,
seen that.
then you can have that. I don't know why I'm backwards. Everything looks backwards.
That works out just fine. I have to figure out what it says, and then I wish I didn't know what it says.
and then there's that.
Well, is that a local? Is that some local stuff?
It's in the Midwest.
Yeah, it's some kind of something
Good
or
night,
other.
Peter.
It's from Texas.
Yeah.
It's
Oh.
from Texas. Like kind of like Chris. I always thought Chris was from.
That was the funniest thing ever when we went to dinner the other day.
Peter?
I said
Uh,
where Chris was from, and said he's in Oklahoma, and Johnny goes, "No, he's in Texas." I said, "No, he's in Oklahoma."
he's a Ponca guy.
Yeah, his name kind of messes it all up. I mean, Texas Raider.
Well, Chris, don't worry about it. I wasn't named after anybody in my family either. Families have weird name things, though, don't they? In my family, a lot of the men would name their first son their middle name. So it was almost like their mama and daddy named the grandchild, right?
Ooh.
Dale, Angie. I think I saw Angie put something up asking if Christine made it. Yes,
Yeah.
she made it safely to South Dakota. She drove straight through.
Ooh.
She left at 5:40 this morning, and she arrived about I guess 9:40. So, yep, she drove all the way through.
Ooh,
He's the Oklahoma Texas Raider.
please, Rocket.
I hope she's feeling better.
Yeah, in prayer.
She was feeling better today. She was not feeling good at all this weekend, but she got up and she got in the car and she drove off. So she got there. So and luckily she told me she's gonna be able to leave out of there before what they call that what's that they call it some kind of a crazy that big, what is it called, some kind of bomb that's supposed to that from that low that's going to hit right there around, I think the center, the eye of that low is like what's that called, Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Is where it's going, the eye of it's going to be, or something like that. And everything up that way is going to be a huge blizzard, and down this way it's going to be a huge wind.
I'm
So
out.
we're
I
supposed to
seen
get some
something the other
massive
day, they were
wind.
showing like two things coming together, and I didn't really read into it because it was showing it up north, and I guess that may have been what it was talking about then.
What it is it's a low. The
Yeah.
low is so deep right there that it's going to cause basically all the air rushing in to that low, and
Yeah.
the polar air coming from up north. That's what you see on one side, and then down here it's the wind. So we're supposed to get, I don't know, I think they're calling for a lot of Oklahoma's going to get 80-mile-an-hour wind that day.
Category 2.
Yeah, it's a lot of. But anyway, she's supposed to leave. She's supposed to be drive out of where the blizzard conditions will be on Thursday because it's going to happen Friday, and then she's going to drive the rest of the way in the wind down to the house on Friday.
Oh,
So,
sweet.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I'll tell you, Jennifer. Jennifer's she's like all worried, and M's worried about your chicken shit seasoning or the best shit. I can tell you, if you take the best shit and you put it with fish batter like cornmeal and flour, it is the best on crappie. So,
Really?
mm-hmm.
I've never. That's the first time I've ever seen that.
Yeah,
I
think somebody actually sent it to us as like a gift or something.
Oh,
Really?
I can about venture to guess who would send that to you. He talks about it all the time.
Probably right.
I think he kind of looks like Santa Claus, and he says that the best days are lazy and ahead of him.
So you brought it up. So here's the ad. This is an ad off of Facebook that I found, and I thought my son might be interested until I read what they put over here. And this is how they described it. And, my son says, "What in the world were they eating? Good grief!" That's a bad.
This is a different view. I'm telling you. This is the first time I've ever been on a Restream Live, and my camera is even different. I mean, because it's huge on here.
Yeah. See, I moved you around. You said your stuff a while ago was different. That's why I put you back where your stuff would read right anyway.
There you go. Yeah, I can read it behind me now.
Yeah. There you go.
So, but anyway, I'm still flipping these burgers, guys. So.
The preacher thinks he's going to go to bed, so I'll see y'all later. Glad for you to see me.
They said, "Do you gone?"
Yeah, I'm gone.
Have a good one, Paul.
You have a good night. Been praying for you and your wife.
Hey, they did. I will tell you this because they did verify the one thing that she had, and they're still testing something else. You don't mind if I say, Jessica, what you got? No. They found out that one of her deals is she has lupus. So that's some of it, and they think that it's something else too. She goes back in the morning at 6 o'clock for some more results on some other stuff. So,
well, I only have this to say about that. I serve a God that can overcome anything you can put in front of him.
Amen.
Yep. He makes the impossible possible. Just read his book; it's full of it.
Yep. But that's where a lot of all the issues is because that magnifies a lot of if there's anything there is. So that's basically where a lot of that's coming from. So
we'll keep
got another specialist. She's got to go. They're going to try to get her lined out on a medicine to take care of some of it. So that, like I said, that rules out some of the issues that's been going on anyway.
Yeah.
So.
All right, y'all have a good night. We'll see you later.
Paul.
Night, Paul. Have a good one.
See you later.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Johnny, how's the calving? You calving much right now? I know you leave your bull and you leave him in all the time.
Yeah, we got 6 more coming, and so we got I think the next one. I was looking today, and one of them lost her plug, and that's about a 2-week deal. So, and I got a couple more that I'll think will be within 3 weeks. So, and we already got, they're kind of spread out from December to probably May this year.
Yeah.
So, anyway, it is what it is. But Danny, I don't have good enough facilities to keep Danny away from the cows. It wouldn't work.
Ours right now, and that's what Dad told me today. He thinks when he puts his bulls back in, he's gonna leave his in. So if he does that, it's gonna be hard for me to take mine and leave him by himself. You can't hardly keep him. I mean, we got good fence, but he'll get bored over there. He's already done tore himself out one time, I think, because he's had some ladies down the road, the neighbors he smelt, and that was a half a mile away.
Yeah, they can smell those bulls can smell a cow for a long way.
We just pulled Dad's bulls, and which we also got. Have you guys seen these portable stationary corrals? They make them like 20 foot long, and they got 2 feet on them that's made out of like 5 or 6 inch pipe that's squished into an oval, welded to it, that stick out like 4 or 5 foot. You have to use a tractor to move these things, but you can build. I mean, so we built a pen out of them with gates and everything, but we pulled all of Dad's probably half. I'm going to say his herd's probably half done. Mom's getting ready to start on hers. I think Dad said he's got, out of this bunch at his house, I think there's 19 or 20 left to calve, and he's probably got close to 30 on the ground already. But
yeah.
And then Trey's got one cow that decides she wants to go eat where the grass is greener and escape.
Well, she didn't go to where the grass was greener. The grass was greener here. That was my fault. I left the hey Avid, what's up, man?
Hi, Avid.
I left the hot wire off. And I'm assuming she just was eating, but no, this is Bunny. She's just like a teenage boy is what she's more like. She's so gosh dang mischief with everything. But yeah, she just went up to Dad's. Went. I guess she wanted to see some other cows, so she went up there and visited his, and he put her in the pen. And
I loved it because she was behind the tree when you were kind of scolding her, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm sorry, Dad."
And look, when I got ready, I said, "You know what?" I said, "It'll be cool for the video. I mean, because she's gentle as she can be. I mean, you can put a rope on her and lead her." So I said, "What I'm gonna do is." I'm gonna get my feed bucket, because she knows that red Harbor Freight bucket. That's what I feed. I have a red Harbor Freight bucket. So I got that, and I went up there and I just opened the gate. I said, "Come on, Bunny," and put it on my 4-wheeler. But the one thing that I did not think about in that situation was all that ryegrass that she had to go across of mine that has not been touched by a cow yet. And then it turned in from leading her with a bucket to having to get behind her and push her all the way back there. So my video idea didn't work out the way I thought it was.
Well, she's broke the lead. You could have actually just put the halter on her and tied her to the 4-wheeler and took off.
Oh yeah, but she pushed fine. I'm gonna tell you that cow has been a nuisance more than she has anything.
Oh, most of them show heifers are that way.
I don't know that I will if I'll ever
They just
one like that.
They don't have any respect for, like you say, you can't drive them nowhere.
No,
you can lead them, but when you get behind them to try to drive them, they turn around and look at you like, "What are you doing?" Or
you try working through the chute. You got to get up there and just kind of just push her, just walk her along. Get her in the chute. It's just there is a such thing as too gentle. They aggravating.
My dad's side of the family, my grandpa and grandma, they dairied, and then I got an uncle, he dairied for years, and that's the way them dairy cows were. you couldn't drive them dairy cows anywhere. You had to just sook them and lead them somewhere, you know.
The dairy farm that's up here by us, they use those. I'm not sure if it's the Gallagher. You know, Gallagher does them, but the collars that's just like the dogs. You know, and all he has is his big perimeter fence, and he moves those cows. He rotates them all during the day. You know, and when he gets ready to bring them up to milk, you know, they milk them multiple times a day. They move them with those collars. They have nobody have to go out and go get them. Those cows are trained to those collars, and they work the same way. They have a beep, a vibrate, and you know, they too stubborn. It shocks them.
I got a neighbor that over here that's doing it with a herd of beef cows.
Really?
Yeah. And I don't know. I haven't talked to him lately to see how it was working, but he was liking, you know, like he didn't have to cross fence that piece of grass, you know.
Yep.
It's like a big piece of grass. It's like 200 or 300 acres all in one track. And he could kind of geo fence them to a certain corner of it, you know, where there would be a pond or whatever, a creek in, and just geo fence them in that area. And then he said, I changed it after, you know, a couple weeks to a different one. And he said, I went and checked them, and he said, every one of them was in that spot, you know, but yeah, twisted tail.
I don't know how expensive them things. I've never looked into them. I said, but you know, that would have to be a mighty big expense.
Yeah. The one dairy left in our county up here, they're a robot dairy. So they got those milking robots, and their cows just come and go and come to the milk just like they would naturally with a calf, you know, that nurses, and their production all went up. But they'll walk in that robot, and if they've already milked, you know, it gives them feed, and it does run off of a collar, you know, that tells the robot what cow it is. And if it's been there a couple times, like they'll put in there, you know, that they can only come so many times, and it won't give them no feed. You know, when they come to milk, it'll drop a little bit of feed down in this like feeder, and then it automatically just comes out and cleans the rudder up and attaches, and it, you know, it milks them and stuff like that. But it's the darndest deal. Like, it takes their temperature and everything off of sensors, you know, when it's milking and stuff like that. And the thing that they did not even think about was they're all an AI herd. You know, they don't have bulls. They AI everything, artificially inseminate. And their conception rate has multiplied. I can't remember how many percent that he told me, but it went way higher because that thing is checking temperature so much. And of course, when they come into heat, their temperature changes. They got to watching that with their heat cycle, and they're getting a lot better take rate or breed rate on them.
Really?
But
So Angie, are you saying your birthday is on March 19th and Jennifer's is on the 18th? Is that what I'm thinking?
I think Jennifer maybe March 18th. March 18th.
Jennifer's 18th and Angie's not. What is it?
Yeah, Angie's is the 18th, I think, and Jennifer's is the 19th.
Okay, 18th and 19th. Yeah. And but if it's born on March 24th, I can name it Johnny if it's a boy.
Yeah, I mean,
if
it's born on y'all's birthday and it's a bull calf, it's gonna be kind of, you know. I mean, I already got a kit done.
It's gonna be tough to band it, isn't it?
Isn't there somebody else in panel's birthday on the 18th?
Do what?
I was thinking there's somebody else in panel that has a birthday on the 18th of March.
I don't know.
Ain't me.
Good night, Eric and Tina.
It had who would have
I'm just saying it's not me. I'm in January, so somebody else.
Hey, night, Tina. Hi, Rebecca. No, it ain't me. I'm April.
Oh,
I'm a May.
Before the day before taxes.
Oh wow. I know a person's birthday is
I
April
stand
14th.
corrected.
Yeah, too many people already know because
No.
my beautiful wife can't not say it.
Mhm.
So she told everybody.
Why, you didn't want anybody to know when your birthday was?
I don't really.
So I'm telling you, everybody, whenever we go to the meetup this year, everybody run up and hug Dale.
Oh, thanks, Monty.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll look real excited
It's
about
a
that.
given that's going to happen.
You know, Lisa just made the comment earlier. She's like, we've been really good about not catching the cold flu this year. And I said, you know why I haven't caught it? Because I ain't been nowhere for all that hugging to happen to me. That hugging all over people.
Look, my daughter Mallory is not a hugger. She won't let me. I mean, nobody. I'm telling you, she is not a hugger. She is anti-hugger.
I talk a big game, but if you come, I'm gonna hug you.
Yeah, I seen that. I seen that.
But
So how old was your birthday?
I didn't grow up that way. Like the rest of my family is not that way. Not remotely.
Sorry to hear that, Ed.
Go ahead, Johnny.
Huh?
I thought you had some.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Ed Whistle Stop Homestead, and he said he wanted me at the meetup. I said, sorry to hear that.
What meetup are we talking about?
10 Killer?
10 Killer YouTube meetup. April 25th, 26th, 27th.
Tony wants a hug. Trey, are you coming to 10 Killer?
I don't know. It's up in the air right now. It is 10 Killer is actually on weekend that I'm working. I work a 7 on 7 off schedule, and 10 Killer is when I'm working. We haven't ruled it out.
But you're off on the Mid America one.
Yeah, Mid America. I'm off for Mid America.
Okay.
And that's the only reason why I was going to Mid America is because that's when you said you was going to be there.
Yep.
So I can take custody of Bunny.
Well, we're trying. Like I said, if I would really like to come to 10 Killer. So
we really like you to come to 10 Killer.
Yep. So, but we're gonna see what we can do. We still got a little bit, and that's actually it would be a good excuse because that's actually mine and Jessica's anniversary. That it's April 28th is our anniversary. But
Ed, you weren't asked to stay away from 10 Killer.
No.
So I'm just saying.
Just saying.
I can assure you that.
Yep. So, but yeah, we're gonna try. We're working on all of it and seeing where everything goes. So hopefully we can be there. All I have to do is call in sick. Yeah. Yep. They kind of frown. The thing is, they kind of frowned on us taking off on weekends. And the reason they do that is because we work a 7 and 7 schedule. So if whoever takes off, they just worked that weekend before. So that's their weekend off. And if you call in, it basically puts them working 3 weekends. So that's what throws the kink.
Yeah.
I mean, we do it. I mean, people do it, but it's just, the weekend is just one of them times they kind of frown on us taking off.
But
So-
yet they don't have a problem with you calling you the day before and going, "Hey, we need you to come in."
Well, it's like tomorrow. It's we knew that this was coming, and he called me this, I don't know, probably about 10 o'clock this morning, and told me to come on in tomorrow. We're gonna change. We'll change out about $1.5 million of filters tomorrow. That's dollars worth of filters tomorrow that we just changed. I don't know. It's been probably 3 weeks ago. We just changed the same thing. So,
Holy cow!
yes. It's heads. Well, I ain't gonna say heads are gonna roll soon, but there's gonna have to be some answers. Somebody's gonna be asking some really big questions here pretty soon. So that's why I gotta go in tomorrow. But it won't be all day. I mean, last time I think I was home by 2:30, 3 o'clock last time. So go in, do about 8 hours worth, and 7-8 hours, and be done. But like I said, if we can, I will. What it will come down to is it gets closer to 10 killer, I'll have to talk to whoever's going to be on call, the guy that's going to be on call, and if he has nothing going that weekend, we may take off. We probably may not be able to be for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but might be that we come Saturday, Sunday, or something, or
Okay.
either come
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday, and something.
Nice.
But yeah, we're gonna try. We're gonna see what we can do.
And Johnny, thank you for your video of showing the area, since I hadn't been there before. So I appreciate you doing that.
Did that help at all, Chris?
I mean, it did, yes, because you have to understand, and it's like the lodge, it's and then you said it right then and there. You said there's a pie place. I was like, grab me a peach pie while you're there.
Yeah, it's a really good pie place too. Nancy's Pies is a good place to eat. Then there's Big Red restaurants.
Big
right across
Red's
the
is
street.
good right across the way.
Yeah. So you can walk from the cabin or the lodge there over to Big Red. Just watch the highway when you're crossing it. But
Highway's kind of.
but it's not like it.
Mickey.
Hey Mickey.
What's up, Mickey?
Hey, Mickey.
But anyway, yeah, if that's is that where you're going to stay? Is it the lodge, Chris?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, you'll be real close to. And if you paid attention, you'll see about how long it took me to get from the lodge right down there to the lake. I mean, it's just right down the road.
6 minutes, I think, is what I timed it at the most.
That'd be about right.
Yeah.
But
you can run down there. I mean, if you got to run back to your room for whatever reason, while you're there, it's 15-minute round trip.
Well,
so
the thing I'm looking forward to is, what was that Jesse was talking about, Jose's, or that Mexican restaurant?
Yeah, Jose's. What day are you coming?
I'm going to drive down Friday, and I'm set for Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, okay. All right.
I was going to ask, is that should I change it for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because all y'all are coming down and all that.
That's awesome.
The thing that makes like Mid-America, what makes it hard for us or for me, is that's going to be right full blown hay season.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of them deals there, like Mid-America, that if I'm off, we're going to probably be in the hayfield. So
do I need to send Lori's prepping for Heaven's Learjet to pick you up?
Can you do that? We'll make a flying trip. We might do that.
And then, have it on standby, so when you have to hop back on, you can head back to Louisiana.
Louisiana?
Yeah. I want to tell you guys about another restaurant, and I'm really excited about this one for, like all of us to kind of get together and go to, and that is the Princess Drive-In. Now, Ed will know about that, but it has changed hands. It's totally been remodeled. They've opened it way up. It's got a huge dining area, and they serve about everything. Now, I know Ed is in the chat, and he's going to say, it's totally different. Different owners, totally redone, totally everything. It is nice. And me and Christine love to eat there.
Well, where do I go to get? Where would I go, Johnny, to get some fried okra that is done in cornmeal, that is not frozen and breaded in whatever junk they have, but it's double dip fried okra?
I don't know. I'm going to tell you that the fried okra at Big Red's good. I'm sure the fried okra at Princess is good. And they don't have any fried okra at Jose's, so can't help you there.
No.
But there's another restaurant that's back toward town called Del Rancho's, and Del Rancho's is really good if you like a really big steak sandwich and stuff like that. Yes, I'm talking about the one across from where you were working, Ed. But it has, like I said, it's got new owners. They totally remodeled. You wouldn't even recognize it now. I mean, it's totally different. I mean, it's way different than it was. And I saw Dakota said the Red Fern Festival has me interested. And, yeah. And catfishing ought to have you interested too after I saw what you were catching last year down there at the lake while we were down there.
Trey's supposed to bring some crawfish, if I remember right.
Who?
Trey's supposed to bring crawfish.
Trey's going to bring crawfish?
Yeah.
Awesome.
That was the trade for the oatmeal cream cookies,
If Trey's going to do that, I hope crawfish go way down before I have to buy that many crawfish.
Oh, heck,
they high right now.
Where I seen somebody post, was it Dana that posted them? What they are right now is like $7.95 a pound or something like that. I was like, woo.
They high. But look, people buying them, man, just because they're out, and they're not even real big right now. But people's buying them just because it's crawfish time.
It's crawfish boil time.
Crawfish
it's definitely
time.
crawfish time.
Yep. I don't know. Like I said, we might could do some ice cream. I don't know about no crawfish though.
What?
We might could hook up some ice cream again.
Yeah, that homemade ice cream.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, I've heard about your ice cream.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Yep, that's what I've heard.
Sean and Kelly make some pretty mean ice cream too.
Yep, that was all good. Yep, all good. So,
but yeah, if everybody can make it, we're all excited about it this year. It's going to be a lot more laid back than it was last year, and that's one of the reasons why we're so excited about it this year. So, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be ashamed. I wouldn't be averted to actually throwing a hook in the water at some point. But I don't know that I will, because I have the opportunity sometimes to go fishing, and I just don't, because I've always thinking there's something I could do over here. There's always that in my mind. I can go do this. I mean, I could take the time. I could just say, I'm going to take a day off from whatever I'm doing, and I'm going to go fishing. It never works that way though.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping when I get that.
Mine.
Oh, did you?
I got my fishing license.
I'm hoping that whenever I get that little 60 model Jeep running, I'm going to pull the top off of it. I can throw a couple of fishing poles in the back of it and drive it down there to the Illinois River and fish out of that little Jeep. I think that'll just be cool as heck.
Are you going to try to straighten out that rear corner if you get?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull around on it a little bit. I think what I'm gonna do is actually put that. I'm gonna pull around on some of those little dents on it. And I think what I'm going to do is try to get the oxidation off of it. And I think I'm going to put that patina stuff over it. That, it's kind of like a clear coat you put over patina that really brings it out.
Patina or 1776, that's Vice Grips. He sells it, but it's a clear coat to put the patina back over the top of it. Is that what you're talking about?
I just want to see the patina but I don't want it to look dull.
Yep.
So anyway, that's what I'm going to try to do.
Yeah, Lisa and I watched one the other night, and it was. I don't usually watch like those great like Vice Grip Garage and stuff like that, but there was a suggested one, of course, with a Ford truck, because you all know me, I'm a Ford guy.
Oh yeah.
But he pulled this Ford out, and he wet and dry sanded, it and got it smooth, and then he clear coated it, like you're saying. It was so cool with the rust, the patina rust and stuff like that. And then he cleared it so it won't ever rust anymore. Lisa, even when it got done, she was like, man, that is the coolest thing ever. Like it just,
Yeah. I want to tell you, those tires that I pumped up with that little bitty air compressor are still up.
Oh, yeah. That's what you get for bias ply old school tires, man.
They are still up.
You get that thing running though, and you took off driving with it. You're gonna have to get them round. They're still gonna be square.
Yeah, they're pretty square right now. Yeah, the Goat Island out there in Dakota's talking about Goat Island out there in Tenkiller.
Goat Island.
Yeah, there's.
I seen you said that, but
yeah, there's a Goat Island out there. I mean, there've been goats on that thing ever since I was a kid. So they pretty much eat everything off of it.
Just an island with goats on it, just wild. They like wild or no bodies.
Somebody took them out there and turned them loose on the island. They just thought it would be cool to take their goats out there and dump them on the island, and stuff like that. And they've been there forever.
Oh,
so, sometimes whenever the lake gets down, though, they basically wade over to the to the bank. They've left the island a few times and come back. So. But we see them all the time. When we had our jet boat, we'd go out there around the island and ride around it and look at all the goats and stuff like that.
Oh, man. That's kind of like, where's that at? You can go swimming. You can go swimming with the pigs or whatever they call it on.
Isn't that down in the Caribbean somewhere?
Yeah. Yes, you can go there and go swimming with the goats.
Down in the Caymans.
Yeah.
And then you can also go swimming with stingrays, or just wade, and
I'm out.
Yeah, I'm good.
Don't you know that's what happened to crocodile? I mean, crikey, that's what happened to crocodile hunter.
Yeah. Stingray nailed him right in the chest.
Yep.
Got him. I guess that stinger got right into his heart.
Yeah, that's what they said.
I think that's what they said it was. Yeah, that's crazy.
Kind of like the freak deal that happened to Lane Frost, when the bull broke his rib and went through his heart.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
He was a good guy too.
Yeah.
Man, people ain't used to this time change yet. I can tell. It's almost 11 o'clock at night.
Well, like me this morning, that's Paul was saying that he had a little of that, lag or whatever. Well, not me this morning, 5 o'clock. Because normally I would get up at 6 for work. I'm like, thought, my alarm didn't go off and I'm late. And I was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and around and all dressed and out the door earlier than I normally am,
Well, until
Dakota, I know that they're considered feral, but you're not supposed to mess with them at this point. They're kind of protected out there. They really, because there's been people talk about going out there and bow hunting them on that island and everything else, and they tell you to leave the goats alone. So
yeah.
Wow.
But
all I can say about the times change is that it's Trey's fault.
Look, I love this time change here. Me, I go the opposite way. When the time changes back the other way, that's when I just it whoops on me. This here, I'll be getting up getting up
You know the
early. And,
greatest thing about this time change for me, for the first morning, and I can't remember how long, I didn't have to stare at the right directly in the sun going to work.
Yeah. Yep.
And then coming home, I didn't have to stare at the sun coming home. I'm like, oh man, it's so nice.
Well, that's like, you get up, it's dark. You get home, it's dark.
Yeah. Yeah, and in the evening, you got enough time whenever you get home to actually do something a little bit.
Yes.
Yep.
And I was watching, and I don't know if y'all seen the clip where they was asking the president about it, because I mean it's got one more move, and it's official. It's they do away with the daylight savings deal, and he's like, well, now they don't know, because they said it seems like people's 50-50 on it. A lot of people are worried about having to drive their kids to school when it's dark still, and people is putting a fuss up. I'm like, I don't see nothing bad about this time change.
I actually like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it. I know it's there's just so much. Like this evening, I was outside. I was putting extension cords together. I've got a bunch of extension cords, like got one bad end on them. So I went and bought a bunch of ends today of male, female. And I was just out there figuring out which one needed what. And I was just switching all these extension cords around, and shoot, it was after 7 o'clock still. I thought, man, this is all right.
Yep. That's going to be, I'm excited to come home tomorrow after I teach my last class, and in the day, I'll be able to actually have some daylight to get some stuff done when I get.
Well, that was like midnight. I mean, I'm telling you, it was 8 o'clock. I was 8 o'clock or so before I come to the house today, and it was still, it was dark, but it was still wasn't completely dark. It was still a little bit of light there. It was fading quick, but I mean, that's what I like about it. It's late. And that's why I said, I don't know.
I'll tell you
wish
what,
they would leave it.
I like this one better than the one in the fall, because the one in the fall usually hits right in the middle of when I'm hunting.
Yep.
And I'm getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and then the next morning I'm getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and it's just,
well, and that's what
the mental side of that. I'm like,
yeah, exactly. And, some of the older guys at work, they was fussing about it last year when they, Louisiana here, they passed the law last year to do away with it, but it had to still be some federal stuff, which is what they're trying to do now. And they was fussing, they said, why you want to get up so early and then, hunt so late? Then I said, would you understand you wouldn't be out? You wouldn't have to get up as early if they change the times, You instead of having to get up at 4 o'clock, you could get up at 5 o'clock. But they were just like, no, that ain't good. I'm like, no.
Man, Tim, he's down there talking about cooking all them mud bugs like crazy.
Like I said, it'll be the prices. They're steadily going down. And Tim, he may have a hookup. I ain't got no hookup. And Dakota was talking about catching them earlier. But around here, if there's somewhere that you can catch them, people here, they're everywhere. I mean, there is people that crawfish round the clock if it's somewhere they can catch them. And like there's a lot of big ditches that it's a big popular spot. But I'm telling you, it's lined up with people catching crawfish. It's big. I mean, crawfish is that's the big thing down here.
Well, they do net them.
Yeah, they have this net. They have multiple ones, but one of the common ones they've had for years, it's like a triangle, and it's just a net, and you just put your stuff on it, and you just pick it up out of there, and they're just on it. They eat. They have some other ones that are cages built that they do the same thing, but yeah, I mean it's big down here.
We used to put a piece of bacon on a hook, and just drop it down beside the rocks, and crawdads would come out and they'll grab a hold of that piece of bacon. They're not caught on the hook, but they'll grab hold of that piece of bacon, and you just pull them out. And we were catching some over here in this creek called Spring Creek that's over here by Pegs. It's a extremely clear, cold water stream. It's spring fed. if they would stock it, it'd be a trout stream. But
Yeah.
we were catching them, you know, that long down there.
Big
And they're
ones.
really kind of a blue green color.
I was gonna say, are they a different color too? They're
They're
like a green and
bluish,
blue.
bluish green, like a they're really pretty whenever you go under the water, you know, with like some goggles on and you see them on the bottom and stuff. They're really nice down there, but they the water is super clear, and we ate them. Anyway, man, I'm gonna have to go over here and eat me a hamburger. So
Your hamburger's gonna get cold.
yeah, my hamburger's getting cold over here. They got cooked up, but yeah, Christine, she was in a collaboration, and she used about half a package of our one of our hamburgers. You know, she used a pound of it.
Yeah.
And so I cooked up the other pound just to keep it from going bad. And I thought, well, I better eat a hamburger here at 11 o'clock at night. I got to get up early in the morning too, because I got some stuff I got to get done. I'll be out of here.
Got another auction?
Huh?
Got another auction?
I do have one. But I want to tell you something. I've been to two since the last one that I did. I've been to two auctions. I filmed one of them, and I didn't film the other one.
Really?
The one I didn't film was a divorce sale.
Yeah.
And both parties were there, and they were hostile toward one another. And
oh my.
yes, and they were selling guns and everything. I was actually there to buy a gun. I mean, that's my whole reason for going. I went to buy a gun. Sorry, Trey, for saying gun on your deal, but but anyway, I know some people out there in the chat wigged out about it.
Yeah, I was sitting here with that look like, I mean, she was making him sell off his guns too. I mean, it wasn't a choice.
I went to buy a 35 Marlin lever action.
Nice.
What I went to buy.
And
So I started filming when I got there, and then I realized right off the bat, man, the vibe just isn't here. You know, you can tell when the vibe's off. And so I put my stuff away, and I went over and talked to the owner of the actual auction, the guy who actually owns the auction company, and he said, yeah this is a divorce sale. And I noticed that there was people following the auction around. Not that, you know, you'll have one person, usually there's a lady there, and she's writing down the number who bought it and how much it was. You know, she's writing down that information. Well, there was somebody following her that was writing that stuff down too, and that was the one who didn't call the auction.
Oh.
And that was because the wife was watching. The man called it for it to be auctioned because the judge ordered it be auctioned. So she followed to make sure that they knew exactly to the penny how much that stuff brought, because she's going to go, you know what I'm saying? It was going to go, and it was pretty bad. I mean, it was a really nice selection of guns, really good selection of guns.
You know the divorce is going bad when the judge has to step in and say, you know what the answer is? Just sell everything.
Yeah. And that's not bad. And that's not the only thing. It's been 5 years. That place sat there vacant for 5 years in this divorce.
Holy cow.
And neither one of them could touch anything there. And it was so bad, there was a tractor, a Zeter. You heard of Zeter tractors?
Oh, yeah.
Well, the Zeter tractor was there, and it was all grown up in the brush, right? Yeah. So it's all grown up in the brush. Everybody assumed it was junk. Tires was flat, you know, et cetera, et cetera. They auctioned that thing off for like $600 or something like that. And everybody thought it was going to be parts. And they asked me, they were trying to jump it with a Chevy pickup, and it wouldn't jump. It just clicked. And they said, what we need is a diesel here with dual batteries and stuff. And I said, mine's sitting right there. So I pulled mine over there. We hooked them dual battery. We hooked 3 sets of jumper cables to it. 2 off one battery and 1 off the other one to this battery on this thing. And we jumped it and fired it up.
Really?
And they drove that dude on the trailer, and it sounded perfect.
Well, it's a Zetter is better.
and
That was their advertisement. Zetter
they
is
got
better.
a buy on that deal because, like I said, it sat there for 5 years and grew up in the weeds.
Yeah,
And
they
then
stole it.
the other auction I went to was a heavy equipment auction, and I thought it was great. I'll just go out and tell you what I bought. I bought an actual bolt bin that came from Fastenal.
Yeah.
It was provided to this place by Fastenal, and it was completely full of grade 8 hardware, zinc plated.
Oh my goodness gracious!
Wow.
I bought the whole thing. It was the very first thing they auctioned. They went right up to it and they said he auctioned it, and I bought it. And it took. I didn't want to take everything out of the bins because it was already all separated.
Organized.
It was organized.
Yeah.
So I got 4 guys to help me, and we got it loaded on my flatbed, and then I bought some extension cords and stuff like that. But anyway, that video, I got to working on it this morning. I was messing with it. I had no sound from about, well, 3/4 of it. I had 0 sound whatsoever.
Oh no!
It's because the media mod went bad on my camera.
No way.
So yeah, so I threw that one away. I just threw the whole. I just deleted the whole thing. I was like, I'm not even going to try to mess with it.
Wow.
And,
So I didn't even know that the media mods could go bad like that.
Oh yeah, I've had 2 of them go bad. Media mod goes bad pretty quick.
Really?
Yeah,
Man, mine has done been put through some abuse. The only problem I've had was I had something that happened to one of my Rode. I have the Rode Wireless Pro mics. That's what I use. I had one of them that something went crazy with it. Yeah. And it hasn't done it since, but I've kind of been leery of that one, so I haven't used it. I lost a whole video because of that. It started out, I done my hey everybody, whatever, and then poof, the rest of it was just
Yeah, you got to share me. I just got a media mod, and I just got lapel wireless mics too. So,
well, let me tell you something, Trey. You say it was this. It was probably your media mod.
Well, what it could have been, but I think
because you have to plug that into it.
Yeah, you plug in the media mod. I haven't had an issue, but the thing was, the very next video I did, I started using that one, and it messed up again. And I swapped and put my other one because it's got 2 mics. Put my other mic on there, and never had a problem. And I called Rode, and because they're not but like 7 months old, and them things there aren't cheap.
Was it the mic? Was it the mic or was it the?
They thought it was the mic. So what they made me do, that's the receiver. But here's the thing: the receiver, the receiver is supposed to still have it. I had nothing. It was like the battery was dead on it or something. And we don't know there, because I have had it before messed up, like the media mod, or either I didn't have it plugged in good, and I had to go in on the video and overlay the sound, just get it all timed over and overlay the sound. Well, I've done that before.
I'll tell you what I had to do. I was using this cord right here, this cable right here. And this is my old cable. I took my old cable out and hooked it into the brand new thing right here and got my sound back. This cable right here is bad. Yep, and it's brand new. The cable is.
Really?
So yeah. So I switched it.
How do you get the deal to attach it to your media mod?
Well, you don't. It's made for it.
It comes with it.
See this right here? Or Mr. Johnny, he may have it.
Whenever you buy like the Rode mic and stuff like that, it comes with the cable and all that stuff. And what you do is you just slide it into the side of your media mod. There's a place where
you're using the belt clip and sliding in there.
Yeah, and then it plugs right into it.
Okay.
So
that's my Movo that I just got. I didn't know if I had to get like a separate bracket to attach that receiver to, or it just slide, because I tried it. It will slide right in there.
Yep,
yeah,
that's what it
slides in on the side like that. It just, it comes off, slides on, and you plug it right into the actual media mod itself. And then this thing right here, you can put it right on the top like that.
So, and use it like that.
And you can use it like that, or you can clip this to your shirt or hat or whatever you want to do. But yeah, that's.
Well, have you thought, would it be better to go to a cage if the media mods are that bad? You know what I'm talking about? You can go to what's called a cage.
The thing I like
get an adapter deal that plugs in, and it'll house it inside the cage.
I mean, anywhere you can plug it in, because if you're not using the mic off the media mod, all it is a camera holder.
Yeah, that's kind of what. So that's. I know I like some of these other channels that I follow. I was watching one of them. They were talking about their rigs. It was like several of these, successful channels. And Johnny, you're highly successful, so I really appreciate what you're saying. But they were talking about that they went away from those, and they all used cages, is what they called them. It was like a cage and another deal. Now they all used the Rode mic, but they used a variation of it. Like they had a bigger Rode mic that went on the cage.
That's something you can buy after. You can buy that.
I mean, this thing looks like it's as big as a kosher dill pickle, Then they had, like you guys have, the actual lapel.
See, I'm gonna tell you, this one, if you'll see, and I don't know if Mr. Johnny uses it much, but this thing here does really well. A lot of my videos, depending on what I'm doing, I don't even put my Rode on because it picks up.
Yeah,
really well.
The only problem is whenever you turn the camera away from you, it looks like it's got a mic on both sides.
But
you can tell as soon as you turn that camera away from you and start filming something else, you're like, you can be talking in the middle of turning that, and when
you can hear the difference. Yeah,
you got a different muffled voice, and that's so. That's the reason why I try to use a mic, so I get the same sound whether I'm looking at it or.
Well, I'll be honest. I've never thought of doing it the way you just done it right there. That'll be the way I'll do it from now on. Even if I'm not going to wear my mic, just have them two hooked up together. Not hooked up together. You know what I mean? Have the mic on the media mod with the receiver. I've never.
Yeah, be careful though. You know how many times I've lost that thing off there? I want to show you something. Can you bigify me for a second?
Yeah.
This is my other one. This is the old one. This is the original. I have lost this thing at least 10 times. And I mean, in the woods, off the dozer, you name it. See all those cracks and stuff in it?
Yeah.
That's from a coyote chewing on it. Because it's got this fuzzy thing on it right here, and I lost this down at the deer lease up in the woods, and I went up there and I finally found it. It took me a few days, and I finally found this thing. The fuzz was gone, and it was all chewed up, and my trail camera showed a coyote. So I was like, but that thing right there, I have lost it so many times, and I'll tell you how I find it. A lot of times, it's still on. You know what I mean? Yeah. And what I do is as I walk and I talk, and my mic eventually, or the receiver will eventually pick it up. I'll just start going back the way that I came from,
Man, it's like playing CB tag. You
And,
look
and
at where it's hit.
the mic, you'll see it start, responding whenever there's sound, when it picks it up. And I go, okay, so I just keep talking until the line gets longer and longer and longer. And whenever it gets full power, and if you go further and it drops off, you passed it. So you go back and you dig in the leaves until you find it. I dug it out from underneath the dirt the other day from my dozer. I'm telling you.
Night, Greg and Donna. Emily, so the fuzzy on the mic is because we all live in areas that have a lot of wind. And if you don't have that fuzzy, you're just going to hear wind noise in the microphone.
And I use, do you ever use the lavalier that comes with it, the cord? Have you ever used it much? I use it a lot because I don't like that big bulky thing hanging on me. No, when I feel funny, I could clip it on my hat, but I feel funny with it clipped on my hat. So a lot of times I use the cord that comes with it, and just I can have it up there and just peek it on or somewhere else. It's not as aggravating to deal with as just having just the road.
I guess I didn't get a cord with mine.
Well, I don't know. That's what the difference is. Yours the regular road, or is it the road, the Pro? Because that's the Pro. That was the one thing when I bought the Pro that they come with. It's yeah, I got one of them.
That's it.
There's his right there.
Let's see. That's the
box.
The box. Wireless. Okay. That's. See the one mine. I'll show you my box here. I got it. I think right here.
I'm like Jesse. I got everything like right here in reach.
If I can, I'm gonna try to reach it. Hopefully, I don't fall over.
I'll find mine right quick. Let me see where it's at. I don't want to keep y'all waiting.
Bye. Oh, yeah. I see that.
A little sneak peek of where we went this last weekend.
Nice.
Well, here's the one that I got.
Okay.
And
welcome back.
Hey, I hit the wrong button. It just took me completely off.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
See, that's basically the same thing. Comes with two mics.
Yeah. Yes, it's the difference what it comes with. That one, it's pretty much the only difference is it comes with the lavaliers, what they call them, that you can clip on.
Yeah.
And hook a cord up to it.
Yeah.
That's from what I was looking at between the Pros and the regular one. That's the only thing I could see the difference.
Yeah.
It wasn't, and it had was one other thing that it said. I don't use none of that. But
I'll tell you what, if you wear a pocket T-shirt, that's about the best. But I don't ever have a pocket T-shirt on.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I like to do is wear those hoodies. Like we have hoodies with our logo and stuff on. And that string that hangs down the hoodie, just clip it right on that string. That works real good. Yeah. But I've stuck it on my cowboy hat before, but it looks really awkward up there.
Yeah, that's mine. I click mine there, and it feels funnier, what's he got here? Hang on, let's get Dale bigified here.
Yeah.
Well, you can't see him because of the comments. There you go.
Hang on, we got it. We'll take that off there for a second.
So I got two mics and a receiver.
Yeah.
But what you're saying is I just take this receiver and this clip deal, slide it in that.
Yep.
Or the top one. Or the top one up there, whichever one you want to do it on.
Yep.
That's what I'm doing.
Yep.
Cool. But I got a wireless charger with this thing. Wireless charger box.
Yeah.
So,
and then test it. Don't make one at your best video ever. Don't make that your test bed. Go outside.
Let me show you. Well, you'll see what we was talking about a while ago with the mic moving. Let me get mine here. Let me show you something. because I catch myself now in videos. And I have to edit it out. Let me bigify it where I can show you. So like when I'm talking, can you? I don't know if you can see it on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see
You
it.
see it? You see it moving?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's so I catch myself now all the time. I'll be doing a video and I'll peek over and I'll look to make sure I'm still talking, make sure it's
Well,
still picking up.
I want
So,
to tell you
Emily-
something. Now, you need to do something else. With your media mod.
Yeah.
Your camera will actually have that GoPro will actually have that line at the bottom of it. Okay, on the GoPro itself. Make
Yeah.
sure you're also showing up on the GoPro, because mine, that's the thing. I was looking at that and I was talking all day and it was just going like that. And I was going, all right, it's great. Well, it wasn't going like that on the camera. So the mic was picking it up, but the camera wasn't.
Emily, there's my dead fuzzy cat.
Yeah,
I just
there
haven't
it
put it
is.
on there yet.
It kind of matches his chin.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just haven't clipped him on there yet.
Yeah, we
Well,
got.
you see, I don't know. Does yours, Mr. Johnny? Do they have onboard recording or not? Because that may have been the other thing. I can't remember with if that was the deal. So like mine, like where it was doing.
No,
what
mine
you did.
doesn't on board record.
Okay, well, see, mine does. That's why I said, yeah, I've had to overlay. I had to overlay before the whole thing because I didn't have it plugged up into the media mod. And I've done that to myself. But luckily it was there, and I was able to overlay the sound.
Yeah.
But you ought to see me trying to match up my voice to that sound to get it started. And then every time I put a break in that video, let me tell you, it took me hours upon hours to edit that video.
Yeah. No, mine is just simply a mic, and it all goes through the media mod or whatever you got, Cage or whatever you've got.
That may have been the other thing. But the crazy, I would have probably went with the regular roads, but they had a special going. They had just announced the pros, and the pros were actually like $10 cheaper than the regular ones at the time. It was just one of those promotion deals that they were doing. So I'm like, well, heck, I might as well get the pros,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the main thing. I mean, like I saw Dakota saying he just uses his phone and stuff like that, and that's fine and everything,
Will do.
except for you've noticed it whenever you were doing your hunting and stuff like that.
It's too hard.
It's really hard to do with a camera or with a phone, especially like if you're wanting to put your camera in a place where you wouldn't really want to put your phone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like above the brush hog blades or something like
Yeah.
that.
In your hay cutter.
Yeah. Or underneath my truck or under my GTO whenever it's going 100 and however many miles an hour it's going at the end of the 8th mile.
And I'm going to tell you, Dakota, Mr. Johnny can attest to this. I fought it and fought it and fought it. I'm like, why do I want one of them when I can just use this? But I'm going to tell you, I love the GoPro. I love the camera. I just got to find the right editing software. I just think I'm on the wrong editing software.
My
thing
big.
I don't like.
What are you editing with? What are you using?
CapCut.
I use just the what is it called? I got it pulled up. Microsoft Clipchamp. I started using it. Somebody told me to try it. It comes. It is a oh golly, Microsoft or whatever. Apple has what is the Apple one?
iMovie.
I use iMovie.
iMovie, yeah. And this other is just that's what it is. Basically the iMovie.
I mean, Johnny uses iMovie. I know a lot of people use iMovie, but
I used iMovie on my phone. When I was shooting with my phone, I used iMovie. But when I got my computer, I didn't get an Apple computer. So I just use the Clip Champ, and I mean it has worked really well. Everything that you see me do, that's where I edited it.
It's
So
my hardest part is you have to go and find all of it on your SD. Then I have to transfer it into my computer. Then I take it from my computer and transfer it into the CapCut. And it's all those extra steps that, I wasn't used to having to do is my only thing I don't like about it. It
you
just
can
seems like
take,
it takes 3 times as long.
yeah. Well, with Clip Champ, I don't know iMovie, 'cause I've never done iMovie on the computer, but with Clip Champ, if you want to, you can go straight from Clip Champ and go straight to YouTube. It'll put it straight to YouTube. But I don't do it that way. The way I do it, when I get through, I download it and save it to my computer
See, I
where
I can
I
do
make sure it's there. I don't want no oopsies in the situation.
I can
And
do the
then I
same
go in.
thing. I can download it straight to
Yeah. Yeah.
the to iMovie. I mean, I don't even have to put it anywhere else. I can
Yeah.
can pull it straight over to that if I want to.
Yeah.
But I'm I'm afraid I'm going to lose it somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Because I will delete it because those cards only hold so much. So
They get full so fast.
as soon as I get, I delete everything off of it, but I've got them in these 4 terabyte hard drives, the solid state hard drives.
Yep.
And then, so I put it there first, and then I pull from there and put it into my editing,
Well, the way I do, I have multiple SD cards if I need them. But I use the 256 gig cards. So I normally don't run out of space.
Yeah.
I'm normally editing a video before. So I'll put mine in the computer. I go in, I move it straight from the folder to Clip Champ, which is still on the memory card, I do all my editing. I never delete my memory card until once the video is on YouTube, not even when it's go into YouTube. Once it is officially there, then I'll go back in and I edit my SD card. Then I'll delete those videos off.
Yeah.
Now I've noticed a lot of my SD cards when I'm putting them in to my camera, I'm getting a message on there on my GoPro that's like, upgrade your card.
I buy the best card. They're expensive, but that's what you need because it's a speed thing. You're gonna get the best quality, and like I said, they are expensive for good cards, but that's what you need.
I use the 128 gig SanDisk.
I use
the gold ones.
Okay, I've been using the red one, so that's probably what it is.
And the red one, I've got a red one. It's the one I bought whenever we went.
Yep.
That one I put in that GoPro 7, the one that you were wearing that day.
Yeah.
I put that one in that GoPro 7, and then the gold ones I put in these other 2 GoPros. And
so,
could you see?
I will defend a little bit there, Dakota, because I was with you. I ain't paying that much money for that camera. Well, if you actually get to watching, see, those are the gold ones.
Yeah, that's what I use.
Yeah.
But Dakota, if you get to watching, like I bought my 10, like Walmart and stuff, they'll throw that stuff on clearance aisle and everything. Like you can buy. I didn't pay more than a couple $100 for this one.
Look, you can go on. You can go on because I'm thinking about getting another one before hay season starts. Just because I put my stuff in some crazy spots.
Hey Dakota, you see this phone right here, or this camera right here? See that blemish right there on that screen right there? That's from a dozer track.
Mm-hmm.
So this camera right here rides underneath my GTO all the way down the track. Yes, I'll put them wherever I need to put them to get the shot, and
Good night, Tony.
But
And if you're putting out stuff that's getting enough views, I mean, and you're getting your monetization, every bit of it is actually tax deductible.
yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yes,
it is.
yes. This kit right here, I paid. There was a lot of money that went into that. I bought the creators edition. Is what I bought. It come with everything. I mean, but my mics, my Rode wireless mics, my GoPros, everything I've bought since I've used YouTubing is all I've used every bit of it on taxes. Every bit of it's going on taxes this year.
Yeah, I can tell you that the secret with a GoPro is the mount. Get a good mount. Get something that's really sturdy and that you're not too worried about. Got good clamp force and stuff like that. If you're going to put it somewhere like that.
Look, I'm gonna tell you, I had a lot of faith in my clamps. I've got some good attachments, but when I stuck it in that hay cutter, I was
I'd have been a nervous wreck about that.
Well, I'll tell you honestly, if I lose my GoPro, it's not going to be the end of the world. I don't want to, but if I can get the right shot, I ain't afraid to put it somewhere.
Oh no, hey, that may be the money shot.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And I'm telling you, that's kind of, the more and more I get into it, the less that I think about things like that. I mean, because like you say, you can look around, you can find some of that stuff on.
Like I said, you go on Facebook Marketplace, and if you're just looking for something, like I'm going to buy another one for this year just in case something happens. But you can buy even like GoPro 9s, which they're older, but they're still not that old. I mean,
I think there's nothing wrong with that 7. Not a thing wrong with that 7.
I bought this one. I bought this one off Facebook Marketplace used for, I think I gave $70 for this.
Yeah. Look, the one that I've got that goes in all those spots, that's a GoPro 5. That's a GoPro Hero 5 that I have. Now, the mic on it, every now and then the mic will not pick up. Something won't work or whatever, But I did do, after so many issues with that last year, I done a factory reset on it that I hadn't even thought about. Somebody said, man, have you done a factory reset? No, I hadn't. I factory reset it, and it had missed a lick. I mean, I got that as a Christmas present, however many years ago it was, that they come out. I mean, Hero 5 is pretty old. I mean, I know it's probably been 15 years, probably 12, 15 years, maybe.
Yeah, that was like the first one. You want to be a hero type. That was
it was the first one that was when they kind of went to that fancy look. You had screens on the front, and
Yeah. Have you got one of these?
I put one of those in each little sections.
Do what, Dale?
Serena's talk about bare root starts from strawberries. How many to put?
You haven't got one of those?
No,
that thing is intriguing, very intriguing.
Because it just makes your field of view even wider, doesn't it?
Yes, like I can put that, on the roll cage up kind of in front of me, and it will video it. Like if I'm pointing it back at myself when I'm going down the track and the GTO, it will. People will be able to see my hand on the shifter. They'll be able to see the car in the other lane. They'll be able to see me, my whole, everything about the inside of my car and the other lane. You know. So and the thing, and it'll follow wherever the movement is. It will actually follow the movement itself.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know it would do that.
Yeah, it will. It'll follow the movement.
And look, that DJI, what do they call it? Osmo, the new. It's very, very it's very high too. But it will.
I was going to say, you want to talk about expensive? Right there, it is.
But you can take the screen. If you turn the screen vertical, it films in vertical, like for shorts or something like that. and all you do is you flip the screen sideways, it goes to like the 16:9. But
Okay.
the thing that's cool about it is when you set it up, if you're going to say in your shop working, it will follow you wherever you walk around in there. That new Osmo, DJI Osmo 10 or whatever it is, it will follow you everywhere you go. It's ooh-wee. Yeah.
Yeah, that follow you technology is pretty cool.
Well,
Yep.
I know that Johnny, you got that GoPro. One of the channels I was watching the other day, well, it was around Christmas time. That's what his kids got him was a mini DJI like drone, excuse me. And he uses it in his hot rod, building drag cars and everything. He'll just turn it on and it just follows him around the shop when he goes and gets a wrench or he goes back to the car. It'll just move and keep him in the picture the whole. So he's just constant. And he's like, they're filming him and he's like, well, let's see if we can confuse it and like run it into stuff. And he would like go in between like the two posts lift and the car and stuff. And it'd just work its way. If it would come to something like that, it may turn and move, and it may actually go around it and find him on the other side of it and stuff like that. It was the darndest deal I ever seen in my life.
That's going to be my investment for before hay season. I hope that's my plan. It's just but I'm gonna get a good. I'm gonna get a DJI. Is what I'm gonna get.
Yeah.
The Mavic.
Don't get carried away with it. Don't get carried away with it.
Well, I'm not. I
know guys that get the Mavics and all that kind of junk like that, and just I'll tell you what, get whatever the mini, whatever Pro is that they've got at the time, whatever it's going to be called.
It's an Air. I think they got what they call an Air mini.
Well,
Air.
the Air's been out for a while, but they've got mine's a Mini 3, and that Mini 3 you can't hardly beat it. And then now they've got something else. I think it's the Mini 4 or something like that. I don't know what it is.
They just come out with the Mavic, the new Mavic 4.
But get the Pro, and see the Pro has follow me technology and all that kind of stuff. Has obstacle avoidance and does all the things, and it's not that much higher, and it's small enough because, believe it or not, you're not supposed to fly anything that weighs over 530 something grain. Let me see how much mine weighs.
Grams?
Yeah, grams. Over people.
Really?
You're not supposed to, like the one that Bill was flying over us down at Pinecone Fest that he almost ran into my drone that day.
Yeah.
Was too big to fly over people. And mine is the most you can fly over. It's 249 grams is the most you can fly over people.
249 grams.
250 is it. 250. That's the reason why they make all these. That's the reason why they make all these minis in 249 grams, so you can fly them over people.
So the one that I'm talking about that they had, the difference between it and yours is, how your arms fold out and your propellers are pretty much out there in a wide open. It was one that had guards built around it.
Is it a DJI?
It was a DJI. Yeah.
I wonder which one it is.
They make it. They've got one. I looked at one of those. I can't remember the name. It was at Best Buy. I just was at Best Buy here not too long ago, and that was one of the ones that on display. It's all like it. Yeah.
I don't know if it was like yours. You put an SD card in it, and it puts it right on it, right?
Right.
I don't know if this one did that. I don't know. I think this one was one that, it had to go to a phone or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. Whenever you buy one of these things, don't get one that you have to put your phone in it to watch it. Get the one with the actual controller with the screen in it.
Yes.
Because it bites for one thing, it sucks so much power out of your phone that I mean, it's crazy. I've had them like that, and it will suck your phone dry before you know it.
Yep.
Plus, your phone gets hot, and it's hard to get it all set up and do all this and that and the other. And then if you ever need your phone while you're flying your drone, it's all
everything goes awry.
The one that Dale's talking about, Mr. Johnny, is called a DJI Neo.
That's what it was. Yeah, Neo.
A Neo. Yep. I just looked it up. Yeah. So
I've got my FAA certification, Mr. Leonard Mountain.
Over 1,000 grounds.
Yes, so
FAA certified. Gotcha.
You get a number.
You might go rogue, Chris.
Yeah. Yeah, I get a phone call. Your drone, you know, the thing about these drones though is they will stop, and whenever the battery goes down dead like mine, I was videoing myself one time dozing, and I was working on the dozer, and I was out there, you know, messing around, and I had it parked up there in the air, and it was well, I didn't realize it, but the battery went dead while it was flying or was going dead. And I looked up again, and it was gone. My drone was gone. Well, it went right back to my truck and landed.
Yep. When you go to paying for the better drones, that's what you get. You know, that's if they lose signal, if it loses signal, you fly it too far, it turns around, it comes back, and it lands wherever it took off from.
Right.
Yeah.
And Johnny, what is the one that you have?
Mine's just a little Mini 3. I mean, it takes good video. I mean, you can look.
Oh yeah, it does.
Some really good footage. But I do all my own flying. The only flying that I don't do is like if it goes home because the battery goes dead. But you know, a lot of people will let them land themselves and stuff. I always try to land my own because, for one thing, I want to keep in practice on how to do it, and I don't know. I like to have it video, and a lot of times I'll video all the way to the land, you know, and so
well,
like the other day I landed it on the back of my truck because I wanted to get my hoodie that I had on a video of my hoodie, so somebody could go, hey, I like that. Maybe I'll go over there to the
like that one.
That's it.
But mine's got a different controller.
Yeah, you want the controller with the screen, what they call the RC controller.
Yeah,
okay. Then it's that one.
Yeah.
That I got this. There's my controller, so the screen's right on it.
Yep.
Dang.
See, I got this one just to play with, to see, and it's got the camera and stuff on it. It does, but it's the camera's not bad. But I got it just to have something to more or less play with, learn how to fly one before I spent money on one.
I'm going to tell you, the camera on that thing is probably pretty shaky, isn't it?
Yeah.
These have the gimbal, so it's all no matter what's going on, it stays.
Yep, it stays
smooth.
Yep.
You go Pro 9 on eBay, lightly used for $290. Is that a decent? If there's two of them for $290.
Yeah. If they're good, I wouldn't give $290 for.
If they're good,
Get the 9 is a pretty good GoPro. The 10 is I know a lot of people have griped about them, but I don't have any trouble with mine.
I think the only thing they said with like the 10 or something is overheating, isn't it, Mr. Johnny? They say they overheat.
They said they overheat, but mine don't ever overheat. So
I'm gonna tell you what I figured out. If you film with it on 4K, it gets way hotter. If you just film with it on 1080, it don't get near as hot.
Mine, I got the 12 is what mine is.
What about you? What about you, Johnny? Is that what you figured out with it, or you film everything in 4K?
No, I film in 1080 because, man, I tell you what, it uses up so much space on your, because I'll have
battery. It drains battery faster.
Yeah,
I'll have like on I'll have before I get that. I mean, it seems like every time before I can get in here to the computer and start getting stuff off of it, I'll have like 4 full videos on that 128, and I'm like, oh, man, and then I'll go, wait a minute, I need to go do this tomorrow, and there's a lot of times last minute I'm in here pulling stuff off a card, and I do have extra cards, but I found that if I start juggling cards, I get
you don't want to do that.
And then, like 6 months later, I go, what's on this card? And I look at the card and I I should have put, man, that's baling hay.
I don't
do
know.
the same thing.
What I'll do is, when you on your screen, if I cut it on, if I start videoing and it's yellow, the card, it says it's yellow, I'll go ahead right then before I start filming for that, and I swap cards. But I get the other off pretty quick.
Yeah, as soon as it goes yellow, you go to get the white batteries if you're going to get them.
Yeah. Like
they come in white and blue.
Yeah.
So
I bought some batteries, which I bought them off Amazon, come with a 3 charger case.
Yeah.
And it's something I didn't even try to send them back, but that battery right there will not. It shows charged in the charger, but when you put it in the GoPro, it will not turn. The GoPro will not turn on.
I've got one battery like that, and I finally weeded it out of the pile. It shows fully charged. It shows perfect. You put it in the camera. It actually will turn on and shows fully charged in the camera, but it'll only run for like 12 seconds and then kicks off.
Yeah, this one won't even turn the camera on. Everything else works. Charger, it shows it charged, show it charging, but it will not turn the camera on.
Sorry, Serena. I'm sorry for not commenting or anything.
I didn't. I thought we did. I thought Dale had said something a while ago on the strawberries.
Yeah, I said I would put one of those bare roots in each one of those compartments, Serena.
Yeah, and Dale answered it a while ago.
All bearing, I've never heard of ever bearing. I think that's the same thing, isn't it?
It sounds like a question for Mrs. Gillum Farms, and she's not here. So
I'm not really a strawberry expert, but that's
I'm not.
Yeah,
but I don't own a green stock, but I own I've made a lot of raised bed gardens and used lick tub gardens and stuff like that. But
Dakota, go on Amazon. Sometimes you can find a really good deal on Amazon on GoPros,
because you can still buy
whenever they go to a different one. Like I think they're up to have they gone to the 13 yet?
Yes, 13 just came out like maybe 6 months ago, 5 months ago.
Like I say, don't be afraid to go in your local big box store, because that's why I got that one cheap, is because they were coming out with
go to Best Buy
13.
Best Buy, but
they were
clearing out Costco. Go to Costco if you got a Costco around. Look around. And Costco. I found out up here at Walmart in our town, you go in there, you can't find a GoPro anything anywhere. You have to go to the counter and ask them about GoPros. And they've got them behind a blacked out deal, and they'll, and you say, I need this for, GoPro, or I need, that. And that's where they get it from. And I said, you guys hide it. You don't have it advertised. You don't have, nobody know. I said, you just basically got to know. So, because they said so many people steal them.
Ours is behind a lock. Ours is behind a lock. They do not sell accessories at our Walmart no more.
Ours, there's nothing in the locked box. Like the camera's not in there, but the price tags are there. So one day I'm like, hey, this says that you got this for that much. And I said, do you have one? And the guy goes, well, let me go look. They're all back in the back storage. And
GoPro,
he goes,
That's the.
He goes back there. He comes back and he's like, yeah, I got like 3 of them or 4 of them. I'm like, well, there's none out here. How do people know you have it?
Here's a Ulanzi or something like that. And this one right here, this goes underneath the car. This is the one that,
Yeah.
hold it.
Let me show you the one I got. This other.
Hold it tight.
What you got, Chris? I'm sorry. Let's see. Yeah.
There's Walmart.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the 12. That's still the 12. That's like what I got. I think mine was $4.99 for the kit when I bought it, and that was on sale. They was jumping on and knocked $100 off because mine was supposed to be $5.99 for the kit that I bought, and I waited because I knew they was putting them on sale every now and then. That's what I do.
Oh yeah, GoPros go on sale all the time, and you can get them pretty reasonable. I don't know what Dale gave for his, but I think for our 11 we gave $2.99 or something for it.
I want to say I bought that 10 for like right at $150.
This,
I remember right.
This is turned out to be. I use this one, this mount, all the time. I'm telling you, that
magnetic.
It's magnetic, and I'm telling you, you can take it and it turns up whatever. And I use it a lot.
Yeah.
And I have the one like Mr. Johnny had, similar. It don't have all the bends. It's got the same brand, but
was those on Amazon? Did you get the C clamp one off of Amazon?
Yep, I got both of them off Amazon.
This one right here is the one whenever I put a GoPro like on top of my GTO, and it is GoPro. It's a GoPro brand.
Yeah.
Suction.
Yeah.
And I put that on the paint on the car, and it has never flown off.
You better find something to knock on.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I mean, there has been a time or two whenever I've come back around and the GoPro's pointed straight up at the sky.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was watching Kai. Was it Kai Kelly the other day I was watching when he went like 214 in one of that pro mod race?
Yeah.
And that's what happened to his. Like the GoPro was watching down the track, and about just past the 60, it just goes like that. We're looking at the sky.
I had a video that I just shot. I haven't edited it yet. It was, matter of fact, the last video I done. This mount was on there, and I didn't have this tight. I didn't pay attention. And when I don't know when it cut off. I had him look at the footage. That's the way it was on the tractor.
Oh no!
I said, "Yep, I didn't have it tight enough."
Well, I hate to do it, but I'm gonna have to get off of here.
Yeah, look,
me too.
We fixing to shut it down because I said I wasn't gonna be long because I gotta get up and go to work in the morning early. I've had an extremely long day. I need to go find something to take so I won't be so sore when I wake up in the morning. That drill stem whooped my butt today trying to drive it. So,
ibuprofen.
Yep. So, but anyway, well, it was good, and we've been on here now. They had gone with 3 hours into something I said I wasn't gonna be on, but about an hour. I told him before we come on, I said, "Man, I ain't gonna be long." I said, "I've got to get up early. I'm tired. I've been going all day, and here I am, 3 hours later, at midnight."
Yeah, me too.
Well, thanks for the tips, guys.
Hey, yo hamburgers, you got to warm it back up, Johnny.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, they're cold now. So yeah, and I got to eat, and then I'm going to bed. But anyway, well, guys, good night.
Good night, yo.
See you.
See you later.
Y'all be safe.
All right. Yeah. Yep. Well, Chris, you hadn't been able to get a word in edgewise for the last.
No, the whole thing about it is
just listening and learning.
Yeah, and learning, because I've got a drone, but it's one that I have to use my cell phone with. And the problem I have with that is that if it's a bright, sunny day, you can't see the screen.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to start checking into that DJI Mini that Johnny has. But I saw what the prices were on Amazon, so I'll have to wait until there's a sale.
And I don't know if Best Buy, because that means I need to try to get the video from the camera that way. Yeah. Um, I don't know if DJI stuff goes on sale like the GoPro stuff does, but it's I'm
Well,
telling you. But
I just
the thing is, like, I need to look into the minis because I was just trying to get the best bang for my buck kind of a thing. And the Mavic, the Mavic fours, everybody talks about how much greater or how much better the cameras are than like the Mavic threes. And the Mavic is the DJI's flagship, kind of flagship drone there. And but now the difference between the Mavic and then the Mavic Pro is like double the price
well, trust me,
almost.
the
And
Mini 3 that comes with the carrying case, extra batteries, and all the
yeah,
bells and whistles was $800, and I'm like,
yeah. See, the Mavic, I think I hadn't looked at them in a few months, but the Mavic 4, just the regular Mavic, is I think $1,200. Is what it is. And Pro, the Mavic 4 Pro is just the drone with remote and a battery is like I think it's like $2,400 or $2,600. And if you buy what they call the Fly More, which is maybe one you're looking at, the Fly More comes with like 2 extra
yeah,
batteries
yeah,
and
that's
all
what
that
it is.
stuff. I mean, man, you get up there with that Mavic, you get up there close to $4,000+. Some of them like 4,600. I'm like,
Jeez.
I can't be doing that. I ain't.
Thank you,
No.
Troy.
Yep.
So, but
So
yeah, but you need to get to bed because you got to get up in a couple hours.
yes, I do. I do. It'll be another long day.
It's been
GoPro.
a long time since you've pulled late night on YouTube, Trey.
Look, it has. It's not. My deal is I see sometimes y'all will get on, or I see somebody gets on there. So for all the information on the GoPros, hey, no problem. But and what I'll do a lot of times is y'all don't even know it, but I may cut my phone on and put it on one of y'all, and I just go to sleep listening to it. But I know some of it. If I get to, if I get, if I jump on, I say, "Hey, everybody," or I do something like that. Before long, because I don't want to not respond to people. That's what I hate, missing people in the chat, the comments and stuff. So I don't want to respond. So I'm there. I'm liking a lot of times, and I'm listening until I go to sleep. And it just plays until plays until I go to sleep sometimes.
Well, Lori's
But
asking you a
uh-oh,
question if that's
is
a
that a
good
good
deal.
deal? GoPro Hero 13 Black, description 27 megapixel with improved performance 15. Yeah, that's not bad. Like I said, Lori, I bought the Creators Hero 12 Creators Edition on sale. I waited for it to go on sale at Best Buy. And what that comes with is it comes with the GoPro, it comes with the media mod, which if you're going to be doing anything outside, you need a media mod at least, or the mic's as big. But it also comes with this is an external battery, and it turns into a tripod. So the whole time you use it, and this thing right here is awesome because it extends the battery. I can take one battery and just pretty much film the entire day with this and one battery, and that come with it. And also it come with one battery, and it come with this light. And I do use this light some. It's got a cover over it, so you don't want it to be super bright. But I mean, it's got so
Different modes.
different modes you can put on. That has come because that was one thing I was going to say a while ago. We got sidetracked when Mr. Johnny and Dale was on here. Or I was going to say to Johnny, the only improvement that I wish GoPro would make, and this does help, but I don't always have this with me. But is late when it gets late in the evening. like a lot of times if I'm doing a video and y'all hear me say, I hope y'all can see this. I can see it perfectly fine. It's not uh, it's not bad, but that GoPro and the way it picks up the light, it is horrible. I mean, I like the GoPro. I mean, I do. I use my GoPro. That's how I do everything. The
Well,
one
see,
reason I quit from my phone. So I started out doing my phone because I didn't want to use the GoPro. I had a GoPro when I first started, but my problem was because of maybe of what all I had, I would run out of storage, and I can't tell you how many videos I actually lost, which I wouldn't have if I would have knew about an external um, hard drive that you could hook up to your phone. I didn't know about that, but you would have the footage on the phone, and then I'd go in and edit the video, have the video edited. Well, then you would go to save it to your phone to be able to post it, and you couldn't. You'd say not enough storage.
yep.
Well, you can't delete the footage that you have just edited, even though it's the two different deals. Because if you delete the footage in your photos, it puts a blank spot in the editing. I mean, it's just so it got to be such a hassle. And I'm telling you, as far as editing videos, it's took some time to figure some of it out. And I still don't do like some of this real bringing in and spark a lot of different stuff. I don't do. I keep mine pretty straightforward. I cut out as much as I can here and there, and I put some words and stuff in there. The only but the thing I wish I could figure out, and it may come down to having to pay, is my music. Because like when hay season gets here, I'll put a lot of music in some of my, and this music I cannot figure out. And maybe I'm a dummy. Yeah, I don't know, but I cannot figure out how to go into the YouTube studio and edit a video easy using the songs. You can use anything. I mean, you're going to use one song for this portion, but if you got to
Yeah.
go down to another portion and put a song, you can't put the same song. You got to pick something different. So or maybe I need to go on my Clip Champ because there's tons and tons of sound and music that you can use on Clip Champ, but not all songs will let you monetize.
Yeah.
Or when you get ready to do it, it'll say, okay, you can't use this here. So you can either go in and delete that whole section of video out, or you can have a whole section of video not have no sound, or so that's why I don't use a lot of music or sound too much now.
Well,
And
with me, oh heck, I had my train of thought and I lost it. I mean, I just can't. I'm small. I'm not even. Not even a speck on a piece of paper yet.
I'm
So,
small. I mean, golly, I'm
but it's just like I have a drone and somewhere I haven't found it yet. I hadn't found the box yet. Um, and it's like I use it just for personal, use. And when
yeah,
I got it so that I carried it in my police car, so if we had a missing child, I'd launch and do it
yeah,
that way.
yeah,
And so that's what I had it for. But I found, like I said, using my phone during the daytime, it was like you're trying to, it's like, where
yeah,
the heck, and it's, yeah.
yeah,
So, and then I saw Johnny's, and I'm like, okay, I got to ask him which one he's got,
yeah.
because the fact the screen is there, and I meant to ask him how it is when a sunny day. Does it, can you
Yeah.
see?
Well, see, and I didn't know that the minis. I'm going to look more into the minis because my understanding of some of the minis was they didn't have the technology of the to follow you, to track you. I didn't know that the minis had that. I thought from what I read that you had to go to like the Mavics to
Yeah.
get, and for me, that's why I want it because I'm always one. If you watch enough of my videos, I'm trying to figure ways to put them cameras in some awkward positions. I do it. I do it a lot, especially when hay season gets here. I've stuck that camera all over the baler, and I've tried to figure a way to get it inside the baler. But the only thing I can figure is going to eat my baler up and my GoPro up, and it's going to be in a bale somewhere.
Yep. Well,
But I mean, I'm always trying to,
well,
but
with I can't. I looked on Marketplace. I have not looked for a Mini 3 on Marketplace, but I did look at GoPros, and it's just like, yeah, there's some prices that are good and all that, but are they really good cameras? You don't know what you're getting, and you're
well, a lot of you GoPros, if you hear people that say, quirks this and that, but like, I mean, I've got a 5, and it's in there on. Well, no, it ain't. It's right here. And there's a big difference. But this 5, besides the sound thing, this thing is old. But you can look at the difference. GoPro has made them. Let's see. I'll bigify it here a little bit. We can make it easier to see. But this here is my GoPro 12, and
okay.
this is my GoPro 5. I
It's
don't know
got
if
a
you.
bigger screen.
Yeah, there is a big difference in size. So, I mean, see that?
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
that's But I'm telling you, I mean, man, my GoPro 5, it has been
Tried and true.
it's been put through the ringer, and I mean it's got all kind of grass stains and everything else. It's
I can see you mounting that on Bunny and just let her have it for a day and see
the
what.
bunny cam, got the bunny cam.
Do a harness or something, on the
Yeah,
bridle or something,
yeah. So
or halter. Excuse me,
but
halter. I mean,
see, M says she's got the 8. It's I don't know. If you go look up, they'll tell you all these. It's kind of like I said earlier. I can't remember if it was a 9, the 10, or 11. Everybody says they overheat. I've had mine, the 12, overheat twice. And both times that it overheated was, of course, right in the middle of hay season, out in a wide open, bald sun. And it was inside this media case. And this media case, if you look, it's entrapping that thing. So
yeah.
there's nowhere for that heat to escape out because it's inside that media mod. So, but
All right,
yes,
brother.
you can go live with a GoPro. But and
Yeah, I think Dale was doing that.
yeah, you can. I don't. You just have to hook it up. We can have signal. Hook it up through your phone. Because I have an app. I have an app on my phone. I can go in and I can put my GoPro in another room as long as I have connection to it. I can cut it on, cut it off, record, stop recording, do all that with it from that app.
Well, Trey, it's after midnight. You need to get to
I
bed,
know.
brother.
I know. So
Go get your little funny pills.
I ain't got. I don't have no more. I'm out.
What?
I know. I
You inhaled them.
I went to Walmart earlier today and I forgot.
Or you're not pills, but gummies. I mean,
yeah, my gummies. Yeah, my gummies.
I know you've been giving them to the bunny. I know what you've been doing.
Yeah, the Apple phone is what I use, and there's a spot on there, that you can go live from it. You can. So just gotta look into it. But Trey, poor Jessica. What do you mean, poor Jessica? Why is it poor Jessica? What have I done, or whatever?
You're keeping her. There's probably saying that you're keeping her up.
Oh, she's been 10 toes up over here for hour and a half.
10 toes. Well, brother, you be careful and be safe.
All right, Chris. We'll see y'all. And everybody else, I appreciate all y'all coming in, hanging around, and
I've been missing you.
Do what?
I said I've been missing you.
Oh, well, we're gonna get around. It's man, I'm telling you, it gets hard. It's just I'm trying to get you a house down here, Chris, so you can come visit. It just ain't the easiest. That's just not the easiest thing to do, though.
Just get a cardboard box. We'll do it Louisiana style.
Yeah. So,
all right, brother.
All right, man.
Great to see
Appreciate this. All right, everybody. We're gonna wrap it. We're gonna wrap the situation up right there. So, I hope I hope y'all have all enjoyed it. It's just been a little random talk, and it turned into a GoPro information night. I guess maybe that's why I need to go back and rename this instead of the Monday meetup. Rename it GoPro um, information night. So, but anyway, guys, I appreciate all y'all jumping on here and killing some time with me. I mean, some of y'all have been on here for 3 hours, 14 minutes, and 25 seconds with me. So I appreciate it, guys. And hey,